Stone. It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
Oh, and here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice. CB's in the house doing his thing. Both of us back from a little vacation time. And to my right, ladies and gentlemen, I got a former Buckeye and a national champion by the name of Tyvis Powell.
Don DeMarco.
T?
The hatless Tyvis.
Welcome in, man. How you feeling right now? How you doing?
What? Now that I don't have my hat on, it's business. It's strictly business.
Okay.
When you see me without a hat, just know that it means business. I got 4 more days. The first couple of days have not been bad.
Yeah.
You know, so if you know me, if you've ever seen me, you've always seen me with a Cleveland hat on. And I think this has happened since I've worn hats every day of my life since college.
Okay.
Since college.
Yeah, this is rare. This is rarefied air for you.
So if you see me, one, you're going to double take me because you're going to be like, hey, whoa, I didn't know your hair looked like that. Yeah. I'm in a situation, so I was a little insecure about my hair because if you know helmets make your hair thin, I don't care. It's not scientifically proven, but I'm telling you, if you play football, your hair is going to fall out at some point.
Well, the lineup looks good. This is rare.
Thank you.
Tim Hall kind of took off from the free throw line and dunked on you before we came on the air saying that you look 45 years old without a hat. So we started the show with that. I started the day with dropping my blueberries on the ground. So we're off to a great start. You and I here today. Folks, welcome in. I hope you had a great weekend. Here's the lineup we've had for you today. 12:33, Brendan Gulick. He covers Ohio State football for Sports Illustrated. He'll hop on here at the bottom of the hour. Ben Axelrod, he covers the Browns for Awful Announcing at 1:33. 2:33, we'll go out to Pittsburgh, get some reaction from the Steelers' first preseason game. Justin Fields, a whole bunch of things popping off for them. Brooke Prior, Steelers beat writer for ESPN, will check in at 2:33. And just a quick reminder, if you ever miss anything from our show, wherever you get your podcast, just go ahead and type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3 will be ready for you after you type in, again, Rothman and Ice. T, how was the weekend, man? Anything fun going on?
This weekend consisted of me going to do the Cleveland Browns pre- and post-game show, which you can find right here on 97.1 The Fan during the Cleveland Browns. So shout out to that. The Browns game was not fun. None of the starters played, so it was kind of a bland game, but I sympathize for the guys that actually were out there because I was in that situation. So I'm looking at guys to see who stands out. I think there's this Breeze safety. I like this kid. I don't know much about him.
Yeah.
But he was flying around making some plays. I like Devin Bush. I never thought I'd like a Wolverine, but he was ball. I liked him at linebacker. He looked pretty good. After that, I had the post-game show, and the Savannah Bananas was in town, so downtown was absolutely chaotic, and it took me like 20 minutes just to get out of downtown.
People love the Savannah Bananas, man.
Yeah.
They're on TV.
I mean, I get it. I've been to one. Have you been to one?
No, I haven't.
I've been to one game when they was down here like a couple months ago. I got to go because you got to know somebody to know somebody to know somebody to get up in there.
And you do.
And I just so happened, the tickets kind of fell in my lap. But anyways, had a really good time doing that, and I'm sure those people that went to the game Saturday really enjoyed their time.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. I had a good weekend as well. Had the fam in town this weekend. Mom and Pops were down here all weekend. Dad and I, we played golf on Saturday. We did church yesterday.
Who's the better golfer, you or your father?
Probably me right now.
Really?
But he's got a good game too, man.
Okay.
He doesn't play often, right? So when he gets out there, he's knocking off the rust. But if we get it going, if we start playing a lot, he may catch me.
That's how I feel about me. If I ever decide to play golf again, I think I could be pretty good. Listen, so you remember the last time we was here and I was putting in that thing and I couldn't get it? Adam King is a witness. I did it Friday.
Okay.
Hit it right in the middle. I said, oh, yeah. I put the club down. I ain't picked it up since.
We got to get you back out there. We got to get you back out there.
I got it. I'm telling you, I could be great. I'm just not. I'm nervous to get back out there.
You know what else you got to get ready for? I need you to start getting in playing shape for the 2028 Olympics in L.A. because I need you on the flag football team.
But it's the thing. So
I need you on
I had a buddy hit me up about that last night.
Okay.
I'm 50% Jamaican. He's 50% Jamaican. He said we should go do it for the Jamaican team. I told him I'll be 34 years old. It's not happening.
You got the goods, man.
34 years old trying to
do
it trying to cover Tyreek Hill and all. No.
Not happening.
Nah.
Not happening. Okay.
I'll play safety, though. I will. You know what? Maybe I will. There's something to think about.
You got some ball hawking skills left in you.
Come back.
Listen, we got football season. It's almost here. It is right around the corner, and the AP poll just dropped. So we had the coaches poll drop, last week or the week before?
Yep.
And now here we are with the AP poll. Here are your top 5, T, hot off the press. I got Georgia at 1, Ohio State at 2, Oregon at 3, Texas at 4, and Alabama at 5. Rounding out the top 10, it's Ole Miss, Notre Dame at 7, Penn State at 8, Michigan at 9, and Florida State at 10. Not too far off from what we had from the coaches. And I want to say this is almost identical to what we had from the coaches poll there. The coaches had Michigan at 8 and Penn State at 9, and the AP poll has those two squads flipped. Everything else to my eye right now is the exact same. So that's your only difference in the top 10 that includes 2 Big Ten teams. I'm sorry, flipping 2 Big Ten teams there with Michigan at 8 in the coaches poll, Penn State at 9, and then now the AP has those squads flipped. Anything jump out to you in the top 10? Any squad you're interested in that top 10 outside of the Ohio State University?
No, Texas. I'm actually and the Wolverines, actually, because I think that although they lost a lot, I think they still got a lot of good things that they want to do. And I feel like that week 2 matchup against Texas is going to be very eye-opening. Either they're going to be really good. If they beat them, people's going to talk about them different. Like, okay, they still might be really good. If they get beat bad.
Talking Michigan?
Yeah, they lose bad.
I just
don't see them losing bad. I really don't.
I think their defense is going to keep them in a lot of games.
I agree.
I think their defense is legit. Will Johnson's a monster at corner. We know they got 2 beasts in the middle of that D-line.
Yeah.
And Graham and Grant. So I think they're going to be – their floor is relatively safe because of their defense. But it's just the most important position. What are they cooking up?
It wasn't like the other guy was doing that. They didn't ask him to do much.
That's very true. But I think Alex Orji.
He's a willing runner.
He is. He's only attempted 1 pass his entire career. Not that he can't do
hilarious.
it. But his time at Michigan.
That is funny. Is that a fact?
And yeah, absolutely. In game action. I'll double check that for you. But he's only completed.
Did he complete it?
I want to say attempted, 1 pass.
There's no way that's true.
Let me get this for you right now. That's just wrote it. So in 2022, he attempted 1 pass.
Did he complete it?
He did.
Okay.
For 5 yards.
He's 100% in the career.
For 5 yards. And then in 2023, he did not attempt a single pass. So it's not to say that the dude can't throw. It's just he never has been asked to throw. So they got Jack Tuttle up there, a seasoned vet as well. So we shall see. But I'm with you on Michigan just as far as what the heck they're going to look like offensively. That should be interesting. I'll just hit you with the remainder of the top 25. You have Florida State at 10. Missouri comes in at 11. Utah at 12. LSU 13. Clemson 14. Tennessee 15. Oklahoma 16. Oklahoma State at 17. 18 is Kansas State. 19, you got the Hurricanes of Miami. 20 is Texas A&M. 21 is Arizona. Kansas comes in at 22. USC at 23. NC State at 24. And then Iowa comes in at 25. USC is one of those squads this year where it's just like, it just feels like Lincoln Riley is in a pressure-packed situation. Because this dude, for years, we got to give it to the man. The offensive product, it's good.
It is.
It is really good. But to me, part of it is also, like, when your defense is that bad, you get so many more at-bats, right, on offense. So now they turn the page after losing a dude and Caleb Williams, who is just an absolute freak show, and looks like they're going to hand this thing over to Miller Moss. But don't you feel like the heat's a little cranked up around Lincoln Riley right now?
You would think, because the USC is first of all, this is a guy that left Oklahoma to come to USC. I think they paid him pretty good too. And if you not at least making the play, like you had a Heisman winning quarterback last year, you couldn't make the playoffs. Like that's bad. And the Pac-12, don't get me wrong, the Pac-12 quarterback play last year was exceptional. Every last team had a really good quarterback. But now that you're moving on to the Big Ten, it's a heavy emphasis on defense. You can't win the Big Ten just putting up 60 points a game. Like that's it doesn't work like that. You know, Ohio State was doing that for a while, where you putting up a bunch of points in the defense. Those 20, 21 teams, you know, they had a really good offense. The defense maybe wasn't up to par, but you realize you couldn't win it all like that. And I think Lincoln Riley understands that now, especially playing in the Big Ten. So, yeah, he's got to figure it out. And I like that they went and got the new defensive coordinator. He was my assistant DB coach when I was with Houston for a week.
He's coming from UCLA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was with Lynn. He's Lynn's. What is it?
D'Anton Lynn?
Yeah.
D'Anton Lynn, I believe is his name.
Nice. Yeah.
Interesting game for them right out of the gate, Tyvis. This might be neutral site. Let me check, but it is LSU.
Yeah, they've been trying to get away from that for years.
Well, yes, it's a game against LSU, and then week 3, they go up to Ann Arbor. So
week 3?
So USC comes across town.
Oh man,
to Ann Arbor. So you get LSU. Now, to be fair, LSU's resetting the same way USC is. They lost 2 first-round receivers, the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
Their offensive coordinator is now the offensive coordinator at Notre Dame with Marcus Freeman. So a lot of moving pieces.
But something still ain't right, because Lincoln tried to get out of this game.
That is true.
So it looks bad. Like if he goes out there and he gets destroyed, like the whole thing looks bad.
I know.
Now, if he comes out and win, obviously that'd be really a nice feather in his cap. But right?
To your point, that week 3 game at Ann Arbor is going to be that real feel of, can they handle Big Ten physicality?
Yeah.
Can they handle it? Because it's just been down in the trenches. They just haven't had dudes. They just haven't. It's been tough for them down there.
They better figure it out quickly. That's the ultimate test right there. If they're able to shut down Donovan Edwards and that offensive line, then they can be very successful in the Big Ten.
100%. So there's your new AP poll that just came out right when we started the show. Georgia at 1, Ohio State at 2. That's been kind of the vibe all off season with those two teams. Everybody splitting hairs with how good they think both squads can be. Coming up, a former Buckeye. He gives his take on what type of role wide receiver Jeremiah Smith could play this season. We'll tell you who and let you hear it next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let's talk about your sleep, specifically if you're not getting enough of it. If you're feeling groggy all day because you didn't sleep well, that is an awful feeling. I've been there. And if you're snoring when you sleep, well, that could be a big reason why you aren't feeling rested. This fact surprised even me the first time I heard it, and that is, as you age, your risk of having obstructive sleep apnea nearly doubles. That's right. You need to find out if your snoring is related to sleep apnea, because if it is, there's actually help available for you right now. Dr. Mark Levy is board certified in the treatment of sleep apnea, and he offers a custom-fitted oral appliance that effectively treats sleep apnea. I have been telling you about this for years. And maybe you've been snoring for years. Now's the time to get this fixed. Plus, most Medicare patients have little to no out-of-pocket costs for this treatment. So you need to stop putting it off. Don't ignore your snore. Get your sleep apnea treated by calling Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. Get the life back you deserve. Call Dr. Mark Levy today, 1-800-MORE-SLEEP, or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Spectrum delivers with fast and reliable internet. And with Spectrum One, you get even more. Spectrum Internet, so you can work, game, and stream with speeds up to 1 gig. Plus advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and one Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line, both free for 12 months. Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile. Get it all together with Spectrum One, starting at just $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
There's never a good time for your furnace or air conditioner to stop working, but we're honored that for the past 100 years, Atlas Butler customers have relied on us the night before Thanksgiving, the day before their wedding, and even Christmas morning for fast, convenient service. Your trust means everything. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm getting married today.
You may now kiss the bride.
I'm also a firefighter and first responder. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're also making sure I can get to my wedding ceremony, start the next chapter of my life.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. Let's all give them room to work. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Healthcare.gov is here for you when life happens. If you lost your health coverage because of turning 26, going off Medicaid, leaving your job, or moving, you could be eligible to enroll in new coverage now. And if you need to update your coverage because of marriage or having a baby, you could also be eligible. But don't wait. There's a limited time to enroll. Check your eligibility at healthcare.gov today. Life happens. Get covered. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, sunny with a high close to 80. Partly cloudy tonight, low 61. Heading into tomorrow, we're looking at sunny skies with a high of 83 with a few late day showers. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice got the former Buckeye national champion Tyvis Powell in the house today. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Football season, it's right around the corner, folks. You know, we just got done, Tyvis, talking about the AP poll real quick before we get into some Buckeye talk. I noticed that when you look at the FCS coaches poll, what really jumps out to me is North Dakota State. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this directly affects Colorado. Because the coaches poll in the FCS realm of the sport has North Dakota State at 2. Colorado opens the season with North Dakota State on August 29th. That's one of those games that I can't wait to see the line for that game, because North Dakota State, they've had some dudes. That's a solid program.
They had some. Isn't Christian Watson from there?
That sounds right to me. I think we're talking Trey Lance and Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
So that's one of those out of the gate games. Like if you're Colorado.
Well, Christian Watson is the most successful one out of those three.
He can go. He just had weird hamstring injuries.
Yeah.
But you're right. He was a problem. But yeah, first 2 games for Colorado, the world will be watching.
Oh yeah.
Versus North Dakota State, and then they come up to Lincoln, Nebraska. Now, Nebraska may take some time to get going.
You never know if the Dylan Raiola thing and if Roulade is real. You never know.
He's turned some programs around.
Last year they played Nebraska, right?
I believe that's right.
And I think they beat Nebraska.
Yeah, I think that's right, because Nebraska was just horrible at turning the ball over last year. It was a joke.
Yeah, it's a shame
what they were
doing. I hope they pull it together. Not when they go against the Buckeyes, but anybody else, I hope they figure it out, because it's so much history in that program, and their fan base sell out every game. I forget what their record is, but when I did the tailgate show, they was like, everybody was there loud and proud.
They
was going to the CFP.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all might not even make the playoffs.
They show up and show out. Because remember, they had that volleyball game, too, at the football stadium, and I believe they sold that out. I believe that was last year, too. To your point about last year's game between Colorado and Nebraska, Colorado got them 36-14.
They're going to be looking for some give back.
That Nebraska-Ohio State game, October 26th, I'm not going to say it could be interesting. I just think if Raiola is a dude.
Well, they're going to be after him because he decommitted.
No question about that.
They're going to be after that. They're going to show him something.
I just think they have a chance to maybe come in here as a ranked team on October 26th. Just because their schedule before them is kind of like.
Easy.
No, I'm saying, like, if they come in, let's say they come in, they beat Colorado week 2, they have a chance, I think, to come in 7-0, 8-0. Like, I mean, it's UTEP, Colorado, Northern Iowa, Illinois, Purdue, Rutgers, and Indiana before Ohio State. No USC,
the
Penn
sad
State.
thing is I could see them dropping 2 games in that
Maybe so. And when you got a true freshman quarterback, you know what I'm saying? There's definitely going to be some bumps in the road happening there. Speaking of true freshmen, there's a true freshman over at Ohio State that the buzz around this guy has just been sky high. And we're talking about Jeremiah Smith. And our guy, Anthony Schlegel, Schlegs, he was on the Bobby Carpenter show, and Bobby asked him about, what type of role he could see the young guy cooking up this year in year number 1.
Is J.J. Smith out there the first snap of the Ohio State offense?
Yes. Next question. Guys, listen, I mean, he's got to earn it, but I mean, when you
he's earned a lot of it already.
He's our guys. Listen, man, like, J.J. just wins. He doesn't. Again, remember this: leadership has no age. Playing time has no age. You got to be a senior to play at Ohio State. False. Best players play. Dude goes out there during spring ball, not taking 1 reps. Nothing's given to him. Actually taking 3s. Earned it. Went to the seconds. Got a little bit of dabble in the first. Boom. Now he's running with the 1s. Comes out to camp. All season. Winter conditioning. All that stuff. Summer conditioning. Wins everything. First snap. He'll be starting.
He just seems like he's got a lot of things in order right now. And what jumps out to me, Tyvis, is when you see like pictures of him. I haven't seen him in person, but he doesn't look like a freshman physically.
No.
Like sometimes when I see pictures of him, I'm like, is this dude a tight end?
Yeah.
Like he looks the part. And I know that's not the end all be all, but he just looks different, right? And there's guys that we see come through these programs, and you know better than I do, but some of these guys just jump off the screen. They jump off, all the pictures that you see of just, man, like those guys are just cut from a different cloth. But there's been so much momentum behind his name this offseason as far as what he can be in year 1. You just heard it from a couple former Buckeyes right there. Phil Steele, he had him ranked as his number 1 freshman wide receiver in the country. I mean, the recruiting stuff was through the roof. I'm sure there's going to be some freshman moments, but it definitely seems like we're looking at a year to where we're going to be talking about J.J. Smith, Jeremiah Smith as an impactful guy for sure.
And it's so crazy because all of the receivers before him, it's crazy how you can kind of forget about him real quick because the next man comes up and just is even better. Like after Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave left, I was like, man, it's going to be hard trying to replace them. And then you got Jackson and Marvin comes along. And it's like, I forgot all about them. Now you telling me Marv, one of the best to play here, is going to be kind of forgotten about after 1 year of being gone. Like, that's crazy. But JJ definitely is that type of person. I mean, you seen I think they put out a post on Friday of him and Davidson Igbinosun going at it. David Igbinosun makes a play on him. He goes crazy, and I'm like that, and does the strap. And then the very next play later, JJ ends up dunking on him for a touchdown on the red zone. So it's like this dude competes. And the thing that's the most impressive, forget all, and I'm sorry, you got to be inside the program to understand where I'm coming from with this. Forget the highlights. Forget the size. The fact that this man won the Iron Buckeye Award as a true freshman, that means you went through the whole offseason program. You didn't loaf. You didn't have a bad day. You didn't have an attitude problem. None of that. That's hard. I think it took me in my last year. I think I got it my last year. That was because I had made the decision that I'm going to run through each line. I ain't going to take no days off. I ain't going to get upset about nothing. Like the mindset, it took me 4 years to develop. He came in with that. That dude is special, man.
You mentioned Marvin, right? And when I have to imagine like the impact obviously his dad could make on his career. Maybe just the mental side of things, right? Yeah. Like obviously the physical skills with Marvin were just silly. It was video game stuff with him. But Jeremiah Smith's cousin is Geno Smith. And I would love to know, and I'm sure he has, but I'm sure Geno's hit him with some nuggets, right? Whether it's just the way you run your routes or the way you take care of your body or whatever it is. And I think, can't that give a young guy a big time advantage when you already have the goods physically, the leaping ability, the speed, the hands, and all that. But when you can pick the brain of, a starting quarterback in the NFL who's in the bloodline with you, like that has to, I think, speed up the process for a young guy when you come to a program like
Not
this.
only that, but Geno Smith, it's not like Geno Smith throwing to high school receivers. When he's going to throw to starting NFL wide receivers.
Yeah.
It's who's ever in that area. Hey, let's get together, let's throw. You see it all the time with all these guys just clicking up with other receivers and other quarterbacks around the league, just running routes. So you mean to tell me, hey, I'm about to go throw to, I don't know, Odell Beckham, but I'm going to have my cousin come with me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so now he's there picking the brain of some of these NFL wide receivers, and they're seeing the talent. The thing about you being young, being in high school, and being ambitious is that you're hungry, but you just want somebody to teach you some nuggets. You want some little things that you can take and critique your game to make you better. And he's getting that. Not only has he gotten that probably through his high school upbringing, but now that he's with Brian Hartline, who's teaching him all the ways to be successful, helping him how to win routes consistently. Like, it's really stealing for him, actually.
And you mentioned, his reps against Igbenogson, and you get that good on good, right? Against one of the best corners in the conference, potentially one of the best, in the country. You can see that every day, too. It's only going to make you better. So I'm excited to see what it looks like in his freshman year. Let me tell you about my friends over at the Columbus Men's Clinic. The Columbus Men's Clinic is the largest and most experienced men's health practice in Columbus. Did you know that their patients average 3 failures with other places before coming to the Columbus Men's Clinic? A lot of guys I know, they tried other things or maybe went to the clinic years ago, but they have an actual doctor treating patients, not some fly-by-night franchise that loves to come into town. Seriously, go see the team that for 10 years has been #1 in Ohio for men's health. Stop thinking about it and just get in there. Call 614-300-7400. That's 614-300-7400, or go online to columbusmensclinic.com to book an appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com. We will continue our Buckeye talk with Brendan Gulick, who covers Ohio State for Sports Illustrated. Next, it's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Wendy's new Saucy Nugs come in 7 saucy flavors. Yep, you can literally hear your taste buds going. Taste bud sounds may vary. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location.
Meet animals from around the world as you explore the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. Whether you're fascinated by the towering elephant or playful sea lions, we have it all at the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. Visit columbuszoo.org to plan your visit today.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Have you ever heard someone say that they just don't make or do things like they used to? While that may be true for many things, there is one company who strives to deliver the customer experience and quality product that we all reminisce about. And that company, well, it's Newman Roofing. You can read it time and time again in their reviews, how much they truly care about their customers and the roofs that they install. And I should know, they installed a roof for me and my family, and it was tremendous. Their sales team was fantastic, and the quality was phenomenal. They strive to leave the home as they found it. And some customers say they even leave it cleaner than it was before. And I can second that. Not only do they install a quality product that is going to protect your home and family for years to come, but they also walk away leaving you feeling confident that you hired the right company. Whether you need a roof repair or replaced, call the company that families have been trusting for 32 years. And that company is Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
There's nothing like having Common Man and T-Bone resting on your bosom.
Oh, for someone with no breasts, you've done very well for yourself.
Gross. Pick up the latest T-shirt in the Fan store or pick up merch from a show you actually like. We even have Ohio State and jacket stuff. Head to 971thefan.com.
Shop Meijer for all your back-to-school essentials.
Pull out your supply list and check it off as you go, because it's all in one stop. Right now, buy one, get one 50% off when you mix or match writing essentials like permanent markers, highlighters, pencils, and gel pens. Plus, Meyer Brandt 24-count crayons and glue are just 25 cents. You'll get an A+ in savings when you shop back to school in one stop at Meyer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in-store or in the Meyer app.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. What are your self-care non-negotiables? Sometimes it's hard to make time for the things that keep you healthy, but being consistent with self-care is like working a muscle. And when life gets crazy, that muscle keeps you strong. Therapy is the ultimate self-care, and BetterHelp makes it easy to get started with affordable online sessions so you can do it from anywhere. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Carlin today to get 10% off your first month.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best bet on the radio. This is Rothman and Ice.
That it is. Welcome back in. Matty Ice got the national champ Tyvis Powell in the house today. We're going to use right now the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan gas hotline. Bring on Brendan Gulick. Buckeyes on SI covering the Ohio State football squad. Brendan, how you doing, man?
I'm great. What's up, guys? How was your weekend?
Good, man. Hope you had a good weekend as well. You know, before we brought you on in our last segment, we were talking about Jeremiah Smith. And, I mean, you're well aware of just the hype around this guy and potentially what he could be this year. When you look at that wide receiver room heading into the season, what type of role do you think this guy can carve out?
Oh, man. I mean, if he's not on the field for the first snap offensively at the beginning of the year, I'm scratching my head. Maybe it's because Chip Kelly wanted to run some goofy formation or something. I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, he is. You want to hold your breath a little bit because he hasn't actually played it yet. But everything we've seen from him so far in camp, and everything we're hearing out of the building, I mean, this kid looks like he is truly elite. And I mean, I expect him to be a major contributor offensively this year. It's funny because the coaching staff is trying to downplay it a little bit. Like, you're not going to hear Ryan Day or Brian Hartline or Chip Kelly or anybody say that publicly because they don't want to inflate it. You know, they want him to go out and earn it. But, man, he doesn't look like a kid who is coming in as a true freshman. And as an Ohio State fan, God, that's pretty freaking exciting to think about, man.
Brendan, it's interesting that you say that about the past because my question for you is, you know, they brought Chip Kelly in, and the run game has not been great. And I know that Chip Kelly usually makes the run game better wherever he goes. Do you see Ohio State being more predominantly a run team this year, just trying to overemphasize it? Or do you think at some point it is what it is, they're a passing team, and that's just what it's going to be?
You know, some of that I think is probably going to depend on exactly what kinds of formations and strategy they want to use with Will Howard. I mean, they made a big stink out of the fact that, like, Will Howard and everybody in this QB room can run 21 miles an hour or faster. They want you to know that this group of players, skill position wise, has some pretty serious speed. And I think if you see Will Howard in these first couple of games where they're probably going to blow out opponents, if you see him go out and light it up through the air, that's probably, in my opinion, going to make the rest of the Big Ten say, okay, this team, even with new quarterback play this year, they can chuck it, and maybe they have to respect the pass a little more, which in turn might help the run game a bit. I mean, I think everybody knows the ability that we've seen, obviously in Columbus from Tavien and certainly seen elsewhere with Quinshawn. It's going to be a ton of fun to watch those guys, but I don't know that Ohio State suddenly becomes let's just line up in the I formation or whatever and run the ball 40 times a game because we've got two really good running backs. These guys have a history of putting their best playmakers in position to really shine. And, even going back to just when Urban Meyer came here, man, the ability to change the speed component of this offense hasn't left, no matter who the coaches are. And I think if Will Howard can showcase a good arm that will open up the run game a little bit better. But there's going to be this infatuation early of like, hey, man, we've got these two incredible running backs, like line them up and run them. Tavien has never, in my opinion, he's never been the guy that you want to just bulldoze between the tackles, right? I want to see Quinshawn Judkins in a couple of games, see if he can get really physical and downhill. But those guys have historically been guys you want to get to the outside of the perimeter anyways.
Brendan Gulick, Buckeyes on SI, joining us here on The Fan. Brendan, I want to ask you about Emeka Egbuka because this is a guy that's obviously a seasoned vet now. We've seen some great runs years here. At Ohio State, they're on an amazing run with wide receiver play. And this is a guy last year that was nicked up, and now here he is. Looks like he's coming into the year relatively healthy. What type of season are you expecting from Emeka?
Man, I sure hope he stays healthy because this is a big opportunity for him. To your point, we've seen enough from him to know that he's pretty darn special, and I'm sure he probably felt like, he's got more in the tank than what he's been able to show just with dealing with some of these injuries. So, I mean, look, I haven't heard anything to the contrary of him, being healthy. Sounds like he's full go, and he's the lead voice in that room now. He's the guy that's, kind of guiding that ship, if you will. And, everybody last year wanted to talk about Marvin, and that's fine. I just think Emeka he's a sleeping giant, man. He's got a chance to have a huge season. And, as a quarterback coming in like Will Howard, who's had, I think moderate success is probably the best way to say it, playing elsewhere. He's got to be looking at guys, in this receiver room, especially someone who's got, the mental strength and acuity that Emeka's got. I think Will's probably going to be looking at him as a security blanket all year.
When you look at this defensive line, obviously sacks hasn't been something that we've been getting a lot of for the past, 5 years. When you look at this defensive line, who do you think is the leader in sacks this year?
Good question. I would say probably JT Tuimoloau. I mean, it's hard not to pick him or Jack Sawyer, but look, some of it I think is going to depend on exactly what the rotation looks like. I mean, I remember the last couple of years, watching the game, feeling like, man, why is Mike Hall not on the field quite as much as I'd like to see him out there? Because I really felt like Mike was so disruptive. So I don't want to pretend to get in Larry Johnson's head and know exactly what the rotation of guys is going to be like. But if you're talking about just, the pure physicality and size and aggression and hand fighting that you need to beat offensive linemen, I think JT Tuimoloau is primed to be the kind of guy that you're going to see, picked pretty high in an NFL draft next year. I think it starts with a big sack number here this fall.
Let's go to the back end of the defense because, Brendan, it looks like, the guys that we're going to assume will be starters, they have a chance to be elite, just that collection of talent that they have there. But how do you feel about the depth, the guys behind, the Denzel Burks and the Caleb Downs and the Igbenosons? Like, we know this is a grind, and, guys are going to get hurt. Sure. The back end of this defense, do you feel like they have guys that could be ready to step up if their number is called?
I feel like that's probably the biggest question mark on the defense for me personally coming into the year. You look at the group of starters that you're expecting to run out there, and you feel like, listen, if everybody's healthy, this team could win a national championship for sure. But there's a little bit of development, I think, that needs to go on in the secondary. I would say if I had to pick one guy I'm looking forward to watching most this year who has not, really shined yet, it's Malik Hartford. I really, really like him. I really loved watching him in high school, and I think his development so far has been impressive. It almost feels like you got a new toy with Caleb Downs, right? Because he wasn't here, but he was so good last year. I'm a little bit hesitant on the depth just because I want to see what it looks like first. But I also don't know that they're going to get tested like crazy from, really high explosive offenses early in the season. I mean, they're probably not going to play a team that could light up the scoreboard, in my opinion, until probably Oregon. So, maybe they've got a little bit of time to learn on their feet too, which could be nice.
Brendan, who would you say let's say Will Howard gets the starting quarterback job, because that's what all signs are pointing in that direction. Who would you have as your backup quarterback for the season?
It's probably Devin Brown for me. I know there's a lot of conversation around Julian Sayin, and it sounds like he's been really impressive so far in the grand scheme of things. I tend to side actually with Ryan Day when it comes to the experience component to this, because when you've got a team that is as capable as this team appears to be, you start thinking about, okay, what can hold them back? And turning over the football, making stupid mistakes at quarterback, in my opinion, could be one area that holds them back. I'd like to see somebody that's got a few years in the system. I know that doesn't always work at Ohio State, where it's not just the Jeremiah Smith thing, right? Like he's brand new to the program, but I think he's going to be on the field a lot. It's not just a seniority thing, but when it comes to playing quarterback, it's not like Devin Brown has a million more live reps than everybody else does, because he hasn't seen the field as a starting quarterback, with the exception of obviously the game we don't like to talk about last December. I just tend to trust a guy who has been in the room in Columbus, not just as a high school kid trying to learn things and then going out and practicing. I'm not saying it's a wide margin, but I would personally have Devin Brown as solidly as my number 2 guy.
He's Brendan Gulick from Buckeyes on SI. Brendan, we appreciate your time, and I'm sure we'll be chopping it up with you soon in the coming weeks before we get ready for August 31st. Thanks so much.
Cool. Would love to, guys. Talk to you soon.
Brendan Gulick was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Real quick, put your coach's hat on. I want you to answer the question you just asked him. Who would you go with?
For my backup quarterback, I think you would go with Devin Brown, because he's a competitive person and he's been there. He's been the guy that kind of held this thing together. Once Kyle McCord left, he was a guy that everybody looked to as a leader. I do understand the fact that, though, you want to plan for the future beyond this season, and it would be nice to get them some reps, but I think you'll get them plenty of reps in those first couple of games.
We do it every Monday. We'll round out the first hour with Party Like a RothStar next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
An ex-jock and a very puffy, smooth-faced man. These are the first voices you should hear. Morning Juice.
Your wake-up service.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Bath Authority. You spend a ton of time in your bathroom, and if you're trying to ignore your old, outdated bath or shower, or that mold and mildew along with the broken tiles, you gotta call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. And all Bath Authority products are 100% made in the USA, and they can be installed in as little as 1 day by certified factory technicians. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
You know that project you've been working on, just chipping away at it, dreaming of the day you get to show it off? Then, when you're least expecting it, cancer. And finishing that project actually happens. I would know. I've been restoring this car for years, and today I'm giving it to my granddaughter. It's her 16th birthday and 2 years since my cancer diagnosis.
Mom, you finished it?
Happy birthday, boo-boo. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
We know your golf game is ugly, but your course doesn't have to be. Experience the natural beauty of Delaware Golf Club today. Delaware Golf Club is now open to the public and only 10 miles up the road from 270. For the best rates, book your tee time online at delawaregolfclub.com.
Get the new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Z Flip 6 powered by Galaxy AI with Spectrum free anytime upgrade. Use Circle to search with Google to see more and search more on the large Z Fold 6 screen. Or capture perfectly framed pics using FlexCam and Z Flip 6. Order now with Spectrum free anytime upgrade and get up to $1,000 off, plus the value of your trade-in. Visit a Spectrum store or SpectrumMobile.com today. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
It's the summer sell-down at Performance Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Get 0% for 36 months on select Wranglers, Gladiators, and Grand Cherokees with no payments for 90 days. One Performance, 2 locations, Georgesville and Delaware.
With approved credit from Stellantis Financial Services on select 24 in-stock inventory. Cannot combine offers. Ends 8/30/24.
If you miss a little, you'll miss a lot. Search for your favorite fan shows wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe. Every episode comes right to your phone absolutely free. Modern technology, it's a hell of a thing. Do it now. The Fan.
Scotty Vegas here for Maxima Concrete. From a basic driveway replacement to a complex in-ground pool, patio, or outdoor kitchen installation, Maxima can do it all. Pavers, natural stone, seating walls, even lighting and landscaping. Everything is in-house with Maxima, so buy from the guys that will actually perform the work. Mention 971 The Fan for $250 off your next project. Get a free estimate today by visiting MaximaConcrete.com.
Are you or a loved one struggling with addiction? Pinnacle Treatment and Recovery Works are here to help guide you on a path to a better life. We offer residential addiction treatment, detox, and opioid treatment programs throughout Ohio that fit your unique needs. We make it easy to get started. We accept Medicaid, most commercial insurance, and our access center is open 24/7. A better life is possible. Visit pinnacletreatment.com/Ohio. Where there is treatment, there is hope.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text EQUAL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text EQUAL to 321-321. That's EQUAL to 321-321.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Let's all gather into the Kiki. It's time to party like a RothStar.
All right, welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. Matty Ice got the former Buckeye Tyvis Powell chopping it up with us today. T, I want you to lead us off today, big dog.
You're very kind for allowing me.
I tried, man.
All right, number one on my list is a guy that I really didn't expect. Not gonna lie, when this guy got drafted, I was like, he's gonna be okay. I ain't thinking nothing of him. But he balled yesterday. Bo Nix for the Denver Broncos. 15 of 21, 128 yards, 1 touchdown, quarterback rating of 102.3. I know it's just the preseason. I know that guy sit out, but he looked really good in his debut, his NFL debut, so I got to give him some credit for that. He did his thing.
He's going to be the guy.
He's going to be the guy. You got Zach Wilson and Jarrett Stidham. Yeah, even though Zach Wilson he wasn't bad either. 10 for 13, 117 yards.
We just know how that movie ends.
I'm just saying.
I know. I hear you.
You know, Sean Payton might,
I think Bo Nix he's starting every game for them this year.
You think so?
Every game.
Week 1 starter.
I think he was named the starter for their second preseason game. Get him out there, man. I'm one of those guys. Play him. Play the rookies. Good call out of you, Bo Nix. He did look good in his NFL debut. First candidate for me this week. We got to talk about LeBron James. Because this is honestly ridiculous.
It is. No, it really is.
We're talking about a man that's almost 40 years old that just helped lead USA to a gold medal, and he was named the MVP of the Paris 2024 men's basketball tournament. LeBron averaged 14 points, 7 rebounds, 8.5 assists, and 1.3 steals in 6 tournament games. You watch these games, and you're like, he's the best player on the team.
Yeah.
And he's 40.
I know.
Like, this shouldn't be happening.
He's been in the big 3 for the Olympics twice.
It's absolutely insane. I mean, he's talked about it for years, how much he invests financially in his body. but that's only part of the equation. Like, the dude is just always in the lab working, and it was crazy to watch him play in this tournament as the OG of this team and be the best player on the team.
He did say he wasn't playing in 28. He's probably going to be retired by then. So, if you're going to go out,
go out with a bang. I mean, it's the breakaway dunks that we saw in 2009. It's still the chase down blocks. Like, he's still doing all of that stuff.
No, isn't that sick?
It's absolutely
Here
ridiculous.
I am. I jumped like that. My knee hurt for a week.
It was crazy. So James, he made the Olympic All-Star 5. It was LeBron, Steph, Nikola Jokic, Victor Wembanyama, and Dennis Schroeder. And by the way, Wemby.
I'm scared for him. Wemby said that
it's gonna be his league here soon.
Yeah.
But right now, this is about the king, LeBron James. He keeps doing it, man. Partying like a rockstar.
Number 2 on my list. It pains me to do this, but I am a Pryor. I believe in giving people credit when credit's due.
Okay.
I got to talk about a Wolverine.
Okay.
J.J. McCarthy. Now, listen. When he got picked by the Vikings, I thought it was a great situation. I said, that's a perfect scheme.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell will get the most out of him. He looked good, man. He looked good. 11 for 17, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick. QBR 116.8. So, hey, I'm just saying. Some of them throws he made, I was like, that's
I know.
Hey.
Now, their schedule out of the gate is tough. I don't know if you've taken a glance at the Vikings schedule.
No, what is it?
It's some tough defenses out of the gate. I mean, the Giants aren't a sexy team, but their D-line is for real. Dexter Lawrence. They added the guy from Carolina.
Brian Burns.
Yeah. And then it's San Francisco. Then it's Houston. And then they get the Jets in week 5. So that's going to be interesting to see when JJ gets out there. But I'm with you, man. Kevin O'Connell seems like he's a heck of a play caller and a head coach. And you're so right. The weaponry around the dude is as good as it gets for a young guy coming in to the league. I'm going with the rookie quarterback as well. And I'm going with the guy that I think is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Whoa. Now, hold on, because that's going to break a streak Ohio State got going on.
That is true. That is true, and Marvin might have something to say about it this year. But I got to talk about Jaden Daniels. I see the vision.
You still that? You there? It looked good. I ain't gonna lie. That first little fade he threw.
It was a dot. The ball was on money. You're talking about a 40-plus yard pass down the field into a tight window. That's what I want to see. Because as you know and as you've told me, those are the throws you got to make if you want to be good. Anybody can hit guys that are open.
Yeah.
But can you thread it in there? And Jaden Daniels, very small sample size. I get it. But I've been high on this guy, and I love what I think he can do for the former Buckeye Terry McLaurin, because Terry's been balling with bad quarterback play. You bring in Cliff Kingsbury as the offensive coordinator, who helped Kyler Murray get to an Offensive Rookie of the Year in Arizona. The skill set is there for the numbers to look good. Now, I'm not going to deny what Caleb has going on in Chicago is for real.
It looked good, too.
But I think that could actually help Jaden Daniels' case if the stats are similar to that. He did maybe a little bit more as about the same with less.
You know what'll really help him?
What's that?
If they trade for his friend Brandon Ayuk.
I don't know what's going on.
They really be cooking with grease.
I agree.
Have him, Jahan, and Scary Terry. Man.
See the vision. But I'm in on Jaden Daniels. Party like a rockstar. He was balling.
This last one, I apologize in advance because I know you have ties with this guy.
What are you about to do? What are you about to do?
It's a former Reds pitcher.
Oh, no.
That had a game last night.
Yeah.
Luis Castillo, listen.
Oh, man.
6 innings pitched. He gave up 1 run. This man had 9 strikeouts. Hey, they won 12-1 against the Mets. He looked good.
It hurts me.
I know it do, but he looked good.
He does, man. I still love him.
Man.
And you know what's sad is what you said to me off the air. It's like, you know what? Essentially, this is going to happen with Elliott.
Yeah.
And you're not wrong.
Hey, he might be like Jose. He might take a hometown discount.
I doubt it.
150, and he said,
nice.
That's enough money to last forever.
But you're right, man. Luis Castillo's he's an ace. He's what you want. You want that guy that it's like, hey, we're winning today.
Yeah.
When he's pitching, he definitely has that vibe.
He scares me in playoff settings. I think he is. I would not want to go against him.
Their whole pitching staff's crazy.
Yeah.
Last one. You and I can share this one. Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, if you missed the gold medal game, go hop on Twitter, YouTube, whatever, and just type in his highlights. The last 3 that he hit.
Over Wemby?
Oh, no, over when he sidestepped 2 guys.
Oh,
the step back to the right.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And just looked like he just threw it up, but this is Steph Curry, so you know it was more than that. The best shooter of all time. It got to a point late in the game to where he literally hit 3 or 4 threes, where it just felt like he was like, you know what, enough. We're coming back to our homeland with the gold. Steph Curry was incredible. Had everybody doing the night celebration. That was so much fun to watch. And his Iron Eagle son said it was a great call when he hit it. He said it was the golden dagger. After that,
that's fire.
I was like, I see you.
That's fire.
I see you.
Steph last 2 games, the one to get to the finals and that one, I think he had 30 points in both games, right?
It was insane, man.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed soaking that in. Steph, LeBron, KD together, because that's probably the last time we'll see it.
Yeah, and LeBron always wanted to play with Steph.
You can see the joy.
2 kids from Akron, man. Akron, Ohio, representing.
There's party like a RothStar. This week, good stuff right there. Coming up next, the 2024 college football season. Folks, that's kicking off in just 12 days. What are some of the biggest questions Tyvis and I have going into the year? We'll get into all of that next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
That's the sound of sweat falling drip by miserable drip, because your AC has decided to call it quits in this heat. But the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team never quits. So no sweat. The Waterworks offers same-day AC service to help you keep your cool this summer. And that sounds amazing. Call the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team, 614-333-9720, or schedule service on our website. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better AC.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. You've heard their name on the radio, you've seen them on TV, and possibly have heard about them from a family member or friend. One question always arises: what makes Newman Roofing different from the thousands of other roofing companies out there? Well, the answer is simple. It's a company built around family. With 3 generations of family in the roofing industry, the Newman family has built a reputation on honesty, transparency, and consistency. Family members holding key positions from the office sales to production teams, they strive every day to ensure each customer receives excellent experience and a quality product. And I should know they did my roof and their family did a great job. The Newman family drive to take care of their customers radiates throughout their team. Each team member takes pride in the work that they do. As the Newmans say, when your name is on it, it just means more. If you're in need of a roof repair or replacement, call the company that is built around family. Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MBA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
This year, Dell Technologies Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall. Third week of Buckeye fall camp got going today as we build towards the August 31st season opener at home versus Akron. Coach Ryan Day said on Thursday to expect the OSU offense to deploy 2 tight ends a lot this season. You got fifth-year G. Scott Jr. and Ohio Bobcat transfer Will Kazmarek. They will be in the mix there. We also just got the preseason AP poll to chew on. So here it is. Georgia is at the top. 46 first-place votes. Ohio State second with 15. Oregon is third with 1 vote. Making that October 12th game in Eugene mighty attractive as if it wasn't already. Texas is 4. Bama rounds out the top 5. Penn State is 8. Michigan is 9. USC 23. And Iowa is 25 to complete the Big Ten. We're actually just 12 days away from a Week 0 game on the 24th in Ireland, Florida State and Georgia Tech. This one's sponsored by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks. Just visit thewaterworks.com today and get started.
Their cholesterol numbers put all other fan hosts to shame. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice got the national champ Tyvis Powell in the house. Timmy Hall on the update desk. CB on the board doing his thing. Thanks for joining us. Bottom of the hour, we'll talk Brownies. Ben Axelrod from Awful announcing. You know, Tyvis, I have to ask him about some wrestling stuff, too. He's a Cleveland guy. I'm sure he was at SummerSlam.
I see him tweet about it all the time.
Yeah, he loves it just like me.
Yeah.
So I know he's got to be excited that our tribal chief is back. The original tribal chief, Roman Reigns, is back.
Which I won that because I told you he would be in the ring. So
you know, you did win that, by the way.
I know.
I was a little nervous. I didn't know what they were going to do. But yeah, he did. He did come back and he had to take care of little bro Solo Sikoa. But, yeah, that's going to be very fun to follow there. Again, Brownies talk at the bottom of the hour with Ben Axelrod. Last time you and I were doing a show, I believe it was a Friday or something was going on. It was a Friday.
It was Friday.
And I put the House of the Dragon creators
Yeah, you did.
on the pressure list.
Yes, you did.
I'm here to tell you, I was disappointed.
They failed.
I was disappointed.
Why? What happened?
We limped to the finish line again with a finale. And I'm just like, literally when the credits rolled, I yelled in my house, that's it? Like, that's it.
It didn't have you wanting more.
No.
It didn't end in a way you was like, oh, my God, I can't wait to see season 3.
The penultimate episode before the finale was better than the finale. And they went out
not good.
They went out flat, and now we got to wait 2 years. Like that's the joke. And so you know what I've done is I had to go back. I went back and I started Game of Thrones because I just needed the vibes back.
You started from 1.
From season 1, episode 1.
Hey, you with me because I just got to the credits of episode 1 a couple months ago.
Because I just need these type of vibes back.
Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder.
Like it's incredible, but I'll watch when they come back.
I'm sure you will. It's so many shows that's coming out. Tulsa King season 2's coming back.
Yeah.
Bel Air season 3's coming out this month.
Okay.
You got Power comes back next month. You got a lot of things. You ever watch From?
No, I haven't watched From.
From on MGM. That's coming out.
Okay.
Season 3 comes out next month. So you got some things, that get you through.
There's so many things you can get into right now. Like at CB and I, we watch Big Brother. We
oh yeah,
we were telling you about
that.
It. You got to get in on Big.
26 seasons and I've never heard of it. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
but I live under a rock. So
shout out to Julie Chen Moonves. Is it Moonves? CB, am I saying that right? Yeah, she's been the host for a very long time, cashing in nice checks. That's the type of gig I think like you want to land, like a host
of a TV
that's just been around and it's a hit. Like if you get The Bachelor or Big Brother.
I'm trying to be like Steve Harvey. He got like his own show.
He's all over.
Family Feud, got talk shows, radio.
We had that one bump in the road.
He did have a bump in the road.
But other than that, it was all
every good host, every good big time person has one bump in the road. It is what it is.
And he might have the cleanest edge up of all time.
Yeah.
Seemed like he get edge up every day.
Well, Cat Williams was trying to
he was dunking on
do a lot of shade.
That was something, wasn't it?
James started the year off hot.
That was insane, man. Cat Williams was absolutely on one. College football fans, we started the show with this. We're going to dive back into it because it was fresh about an hour ago. The AP poll did drop today right at the start of our show. Your top 5, Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Alabama. That rounds out your top 5. We'll hit you with the back half of that. We'll hit Ole Miss at 6, Notre Dame 7, Penn State at 8, Michigan 9, Florida State at 10. Florida State's interesting to me because last year they were balling. And then they got hit, right? With those injuries, and they didn't find themselves playing for it all. And I know that was controversial and all of those things, and we debated that all day long on the show, and it was everywhere. But now when you look at Mike Norvell, he seems like he's one of those head coaches that really wants to infuse a lot of talent through the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Ohio State, there's, a couple guys that we'll watch this year.
Pick a couple guys.
Right.
But for the majority, your team is set, but you might be lacking in a couple of areas, so you go pick those couple of areas, guys from that area to help you out.
And so they got an experienced quarterback coming in, and DJ Uiagalelei. He started at Clemson, and I'll never forget that game where I think it was the COVID year, I want to say, or whatever it was, when Trevor Lawrence missed the game, and they played against Notre Dame, I believe. And I was like, man, this dude has everything. And then it went south.
Was that the COVID year? I do remember this game.
Where he stepped up, and I want to say it was at Notre Dame, and he balled. He absolutely.
Or was it Alabama?
I don't know why I got Notre Dame in my brain. Yeah, it was Notre Dame. And they lost in double overtime. And he put up 439 yards passing in that game.
Yeah, he balled.
But after that, it just didn't work. And so he went to Oregon State. Had a solid year last year, but now he's at Florida State this year, and I just can't wait to see what they lost a lot, right?
Is his brother? Wasn't he with his brother?
I'm not sure where his brother is.
Wasn't his
Mateo's at Oregon?
He's at Oregon. Okay, there. I knew it was Oregon. I thought it was Oregon State, but okay.
So we'll see him this year. But yeah, Florida State losing Keon Coleman, right?
That's big. Even though he was a transfer from Michigan State.
And then they lost a couple of D linemen that are now on the Rams. Like Mike Norvell, is going to be interesting to see what happens down there in the ACC. Any team that you think is in the top 25 that you're interested in, like that you have a big question about. Maybe it's a team that's not in the top 25. Like, what questions do you have coming into the year?
This is what gets me. It's the Utah thing, and everybody knows I have a thing against Utah. Don't know why.
What's your beef with
I don't know, because Utah is one of those places that I don't ever see winning the championship.
Okay.
Like, they're going to be good. They'll do it. Like, for example, they're in the Big 12. The Big 12's weak. They'll win the Big 12. They'll get a first-round bye, even though I don't think they deserve it. And they would lose the very next week. That's the type of team I think Utah is.
I like them.
But here we go.
And here's why I like them.
Because the quarterback's been there for 10 years?
He has been there forever.
Cam Rising been there for 10 years.
He has been there forever, man. And let's remember last year, the year before, he blew out his knee. Mm-hmm. And there was some interesting buzz that he might play last season, but obviously that wasn't the case. I'm
not hearing it.
I feel like they are a physical team that they're going to have one of the best tight ends in the country in Keithy. That dude can go. He could absolutely go. The Big 12 is going to be crazy this year. Like, I want to pull up the odds of
I can't believe you sit here trying to make this case. Keep going.
No, I just
talk me into it.
I've always had respect for how Utah go. I think they bring a physical brand of football to the field. Now, I think to your point and what you're saying is maybe when you get out of their comfort zone and you deal with the Ohio States and you deal with the Bamas and the Georgias, they may not have the juice there. And I'm interested. Like, I think that's a playmaker thing. Right, because I think the way that they like to play ball is they want to beat you up in the trenches, play good defense. That's been Kyle Whittingham for years.
Which he's almost done. He said he only got
I think he may have named his successor already, too.
Yeah, I think he did.
So.
Yeah, he did.
So, he's been around for a while. I definitely hear what you're saying. I do. Last year, they were a mess at quarterback, and I think you're right in saying that they are one of those squads that can get one of those first-round buys. And I think when you have that seasoned quarterback, and they have, I think, again, what I think is going to be one of the best tight ends in the country, some transfer receivers coming in. You got to see it. That's fair. But I think amongst the teams in the Big 12 this year, I like them. And the AP Poll has them at 12.
There ain't nobody else in the Big 12 to like.
They have Utah at plus 300, Kansas State at plus 350, and then Oklahoma State at plus 700.
We arguing with Kansas State at Oklahoma State.
They like this Avery Johnson kid down there at Kansas State at quarterback. And the only reason why I'm bringing that up is because
they said that it was some guy that said that everybody's hyped on Will Howard, and they said that Will Howard probably wouldn't even been the starter at Kansas State.
That's why I brought it up. Like you let their fans tell it. That's the narrative.
That's crazy.
Is that Will wouldn't have won the job. Now, this Avery Johnson kid, he was a huge recruit, right?
Is he a scrambler or something?
He's electric with his legs. Like, the arm is a question mark, but, I mean, the skill set is it looks to be pretty good. It definitely looks to be pretty good there for sure. So,
if Will hears that, he should walk in here and he should go for 5,000 yards and 52 touchdowns and tell Kansas State to take that. Tell Avery Johnson to do that. That's what I would do if I was him.
I'm interested in the product we're getting from Penn State, Tyvis.
I don't know why.
Well, here's why. Because
you know what you get.
They changed up a lot. James Franklin did. He brought in 2 new coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
He brought in Colton Nickey. He was the offensive coordinator at Kansas.
Is Tom Allen on this?
He's a DC. Yeah.
That's
so
funny.
the former Indiana head coach is now their defensive coordinator. It all comes down to Drew Aller.
And I'm not a fan.
You don't see the vision. And I think that's fair because when you look at last year, he had a touchdown to interception ratio of like 25-2. You got to dig deeper than that. Because in their 3 big games last year, Ohio State, you're talking 43% completion percentage. Michigan was 45%. And in their bowl game against number 11, Ole Miss, it was 48%. So they really beat up on teams that they're supposed to beat.
I will say his receiving core was terrible last year.
It wasn't great, but he was supposed to be one of those.
But why not be a quarterback that makes everybody better? But I also think he wasn't a risk taker. You know, it was like it was a long time in the season before he even attempted a fade or a deep ball.
Yeah, they were not.
And I was sitting there like, if I played y'all, I'm sitting on every route. Right. I'm sitting at 10 yards and I'm not going to move because I know you're not going to push the ball down the field.
I agree. And so I'm also interested in over there, Julian Fleming, the former Buckeye. Is this a situation where, and don't hear what I'm not saying, but when Jamison Williams left, he left a situation that was crowded.
Yeah.
And then when you go get more opportunity, can you put that together? And I don't know if he's going to have the same year Jamison. Jamison was incredible that year.
Yeah, he was.
At Alabama. But just their offense, because I think you brought up one of the most important pieces to this. Like, are they going to be explosive?
Well, they don't have. Do they still have the 2-headed monsters?
They're there. Singleton and Allen are still there.
Okay, so we know they're going to be a run-first team.
Yeah.
Which you would think that would be better for the passing game because everybody's going to stack the box. And if you're throwing out a 21 and 12 personnel, that's base defense.
Right.
Like you should be successful, but it ultimately comes down to the quarterback. If he's not going to take a risk and trust that his arm can thread the needle, what are you just going to be a good quarterback at Penn State? Like that's not good enough. Oh, don't you want to go to the league? In the league, every throw is contested, and you got to be able to make those throws. And he's got to show me this year that he's confident enough in himself to make those throws.
Interesting game for them out of the gate. On the road at West Virginia. Like, that's no gimme, right? No,
West Virginia will, you go in there and you think it's a gimme, they will beat you.
Yeah, that'll be a test for sure. Last question I have real quick. Georgia. Can Georgia get through their road games unscathed?
I don't think so.
Because it's at Alabama.
That's going to be a good one.
At Texas.
That's good.
And it's at Ole Miss. And they start the year on the 31st at a neutral site game against Clemson. Now, Clemson comes in at 14 on the AP poll that dropped. But I just want to focus in on those true road games, the 3 of them.
What if Clemson wins that game?
That'll be huge for Dabo. Because that program, they need something like that right now.
If Clemson win that game,
they need something like that.
I will come on this air and apologize for every negative thing I said about Dabo in the Clemson Tigers.
They need it. They got Cade Klubnik, a veteran guy, but yeah, I'm with you. They need one of those big time wins. But that's just the last one for me. Can Georgia get through their road games unscathed? At Bama, at Texas, at Ole Miss?
No way. There's no way they didn't.
Because those 3 teams I just mentioned are all in the top 6. Bama 5, Texas 4, and Ole Miss at 6. I can see him dropping.
Georgia's good, but that's a lot to ask.
It is. It's a lot to ask for sure. Coming up, we got an update on Deshaun Watson's health coming out of the weekend. We'll hit you with that and let you hear from Kevin Stefanski and some of his takeaways from preseason game number 1. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Are Men and Bone stupid in real life? Yes. Yes, they are. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
August may seem like the end of summer. It also means the beginning of a lot of things, like back to school, festivals, football. At Buckeye Lake Marina, it means the August savings days are upon us. Get huge discounts on all of the new and used boats that they didn't sell. Every pontoon, tri-toon, sport boats, even fishing boats are ready for you. Save thousands on demo models that have been used all summer to show off amazing features. Some have never even been in the water. Take advantage of the August savings days at Buckeye Lake Marina. Their summer hours continue through the entire month of August. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for details.
Hey, it's Anthony here, and over the years, I've tried to stay in the fight, keep playing, but every now and then, something gets me, shoulder pain, a knee tweak, a recent bout of golfer's elbow. When the weekend warrior injuries happen, the first call I make is to the specialists at Orthopedic One. I don't mess around. I want the #1 ranked place for orthopedics in Ohio. They've earned the right to be called Central Ohio's most trusted team of orthopedic experts. Get started at orthopedic1.com. No referral needed, but if you want one, I got you.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $219 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com. Get the right car at Reichert. We're dealing.
With approved credit, 2024 Sentra SB FWD 36-month lease with $3,000 due at signing. Offer ends 9/3/24.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Wouldn't it be fun if we went back and aired old Buckeye games where they kicked the crap out of people? It's happening, baby. Join Timmy Hall for Buckeye Replay, Saturday at 1.
This week, Ohio State and Washington from 2003.
The Fan.
Contractors, builders, apartment managers, listen up. There's a new cabinet company in town, Choice Cabinet. Over 60,000 in-stock cabinets ready for you. They want your business. Call them 216-378-9313 or online at choicecabinet.com.
It's time that we face the facts when it comes to organ, eye, and tissue donation. It exists to save and heal lives. It's a way to look out for one another, to continue a legacy and give the gift of a fuller future, the gift of life.
But what about the barriers around organ donation?
Cost, age, religion, race, or health status are not factors that can get in the way. All it really takes is one epic yes. Register today to become an organ, eye, and tissue donor at donatelifeohio.org.
Billiards Plus has everything for the master griller in your house. Come to their showroom, open the lid, and feel the difference in their grills. Professional top quality equipment at great prices with a huge selection ready to go home with you. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, sunny with a high close to 80. Partly cloudy tonight, low 61. Heading into tomorrow, we're looking at sunny skies with a high of 83 with a few late day showers. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
It's Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice chopping it up with the national champ Tyvis Powell. Bottom of the hour, Ben Axelrod also announcing. We'll talk all things Browns with him. Got Bill Belichick doing a whole bunch of media stuff right now. It's pretty wild, right? It's crazy that, in the same offseason we have Bill Belichick and Nick Saban retire. Now they're both doing TV stuff. I was listening to some of the Nick Saban stuff when he was at SEC Media Days. Like, it's very insightful. It is. Like, obviously, I'm talking about two of the best ever to do it, if not the two best ever to do it in their realms of football.
You don't give Bill an asterisk?
I'll say this. The resume didn't look as sexy when Tom left.
That's what I'm saying.
That is for sure.
Like this man's going to go down as one of the best coaches of all time. And it's like,
I know.
Was it you or the because, since the Tom Brady and Bill divorce happened, it's been so many other players that, like Asante Samuel's, very vocal. It's all Tom. You got Tom. Like, it wasn't Bill, it was Tom.
I know.
And it's hard to say it wasn't.
It really is hard to deny it, especially when Tom immediately
won a Super Bowl.
Immediately. Now, that pass catching room that they had was loaded with Evans and Godwin, and then you bring Gronk and Antonio Brown like that. They were loaded, but that's Tom putting it together and getting it done. And we say this all the time in football, like quarterback is the most important position. But just look at what's happened to New England since Tom left. Like, they just been irrelevant.
Have they made a playoff?
I want to say they got to the wild card round with Mac Jones. I don't know why that's jumping in my brain, but I want to say.
Wasn't it the very next season?
I don't know. But if CB, can you check that? I want to say the Patriots have been back to the postseason at least once, but I may be wrong. But for whatever reason,
I hope for Bill's case.
I thought they did in Mac Jones's rookie season.
I think so too. But yeah, listen, Tyvis. I was always in the camp of I give more credit to Tom, the players out there on the field at the most important position, playing at the highest level with him. And what also is a knock for Bill is that he wasn't one of these offensive-minded head coaches.
No, he was a defensive guy.
Right. Built his name up on defense. So, yeah, interesting. But, yeah, Bill Belichick, we'll see him all over our TV screens doing some stuff.
They lost by 30 points in that wild card game for the Bills.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so, hey, at least they got to the postseason. At least they got to the postseason.
Wait a minute. Wasn't Bill the one who ran the ball?
That was the windy game or the blizzard?
He didn't throw the ball that one time.
It's just like, if you're Mac Jones, like, how you like, Coach, really? You gonna do me like this in front of the world? But yeah, that was an embarrassing outing for sure for the New England Patriots, and they've been out of sight, out of mind for a while because they haven't had a dude at quarterback. Hopefully that'll be Drake May for them after they selected him in the first round this year. Got news this weekend coming out of the land, Tyvis, that Deshaun Watson is fully cleared. He is ready for full contact. I know the Brownies are gearing up for joint practices this week against the Minnesota Vikings. And I tell you what, give me all the videos I can get of Justin Jefferson and Denzel Ward. I need to see those one-on-one reps this week. Hopefully we'll get a peek behind the curtain there because that's two of the best at their position going at it. So I'm excited to hear.
You're going to see some clips.
Oh, my goodness.
You best believe that's going to happen. Either way, if Denzel does well against Justin Jefferson, Brown's going to post it. Other way around,
you're right.
Vikings go.
You're right.
So we don't know what happened.
So Deshaun, he's clear for full contact. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's a Browns fan, and he's tired. He's given up. He's just given up. He doesn't want to set himself up with a high expectation for number 4 and continue to be let down. Because whether it's been injuries or just bad play, I mean, we're talking, 12 games played? He's played 6 games, I think, in each season.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen him that much. And when we have seen the guy, the play just hasn't been good enough. Like, I don't even like asking the question anymore, can he go back to Houston days? I think that's so far in the rearview mirror. I don't even know if we should be talking about him in that light anymore.
Well, this is the thing about that. This is the thing, because I said this on the pregame show, and I sympathize with him because I know I had a friend, a friend that was in a similar situation as Mr. Watson was in, as far as He was removed from his good playing days. He finally got back to his playing days to where he was like that guy again, and then boom, he got hurt. And I think for Deshaun, when you think about his last outing against your Baltimore Ravens, that second half, he probably thought to himself after that game, I'm back. Yep. Oh, this is what they've been waiting for. I'm back. Right. I just put the team on my back and won the game. Let's go.
Right.
And then, boom, he's out with injury. So that's very devastating. But in his mind, he thinking to himself, I still got it, though. Like, I seen what I needed to see, so it's there. I just got to get back to there one more time. And I think for him, I kept saying on the pregame show, I think he's a ticking time bomb. I think he's sat back all last season. Joe Flacco stole the whole heart of Cleveland, and he sat back on that bench like, okay, this is how y'all gonna do me. Just forget about me, huh? Okay. Whole offseason, they didn't bring Joe back because they didn't want to have him and Deshaun in the same room.
Is that the right call?
Yeah, that's the right call. But they didn't want to have him back because they don't want if Deshaun's not doing good and everybody's cheering for Joe, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's got to hear all this stuff. And I know he's sitting back like, I'm going to show y'all something. And when he gets out there, I do believe because he experienced that success, maybe it was just for a half.
Yeah.
But just because he got there, he think to himself, I can still get there again, and I want to do it. So I think he's going to have a good season this year.
He's got a chance to make a statement right out of the gate. Game number 1, right, against the Dallas Cowboys. The world will be watching. Tom Brady's going to be on the call, so that's going to add even more, eyeballs to this game. But with the way that the defense is set up, with the weaponry around him now, and the whole Amari thing was a little strange this weekend with his Instagram caption.
I don't even know why that's.
He's like, yeah, okay, send me to San Francisco.
I literally said on the Cleveland show, I said, if I'm Amari, I want to be traded to there. Like, if you gonna trade me to San Francisco, I'm 30 years old. I'm almost at the end of my career. I haven't won a Super Bowl. You gonna put me with a team that's projected to win the Super Bowl?
I get it.
Absolutely, I'll go.
And the reports that came out this weekend was apparently the Brownies offered Coop a 2nd and a 5th. For Ayuk, but that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Just right now, quickly, coming out of the weekend, Kevin Stefanski, one guy that's been getting a lot of love here recently has been the former Buckeye Mike Hall. I know Zadarius Smith came out and said he sees maybe some flashes of Aaron Donald. Not that he's going to be that guy, but here's the head honcho and Kevin Stefanski talking about what he saw from the former Buckeye on Saturday.
Some good, some bad. That's with rookies, but he played hard. There's always things when it comes to rookies that you're going to harp on technique. You want to take the practice field to the game field. And Mike Hall, any rookie, young player, sometimes you can lose your technique because it's the game. So that'll be a focus for him, but really some really good plays out there as well.
What type of role could he play in year 1?
Well, I think that he's a guy that when they drafted Mike Hall, their thoughts were, because I talked to him about it, their thoughts were, it's so hard to get a defensive tackle that can be a pass rusher, that can be a game changer in free agency because they cost just too much. Yeah. So they looked at Mike Hall and said, this guy can be a guy. He can win his one-on-one reps. He can take on double teams. He can be a penetrator down the middle. And you put him around Miles, you put him around Dalvin, you put him around Zadarius and all these other guys, it's going to make life easier for him, and he's going to get more one-on-one matchups. Him and Miles on the same side, Miles is getting double teamed no matter what. So now you got one-on-one with him, and he's a good pass rusher. He should win that battle more times than not. And I think because he's got a guy like Miles next to him, it's going to absolutely elevate his game and inflate his numbers to where he looks like a threat. Now people think, okay, maybe we got to single up Miles, and now Miles can eat.
I see the vision. Absolutely. Ben Axelrod, awful announcing. He covers the Browns. He joins us next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
0% up to 48 months on 2024 and 25 new Lindsay Hondas.
That's 0, zip, zilch, nada.
This August, Lindsay has unbelievable savings. By offering 0% up to 4 years on every Honda on the lot, Lindsay has over 500 vehicles.
If we don't have it, it doesn't exist.
Plus, talk to us about electric options with up to $97.27 in combined savings with dealer and federal tax credits.
LindsayHonda.com or I-70 in Bryce Road.
With approved credit on select in-stock 24-25 Honda models. Dealer contribution may affect consumer cost.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. Restrictions apply.
You're our priority at the Bath Authority.
When there's a United Dairy Farmers nearby, fan favorites are too. Score a set of 6 Cincinnati Reds player cups for $19.99. Ellie, Green, India, Steer, Diaz, and McLean cups only at UDF while supplies last.
Ah, the sounds of back to school time. There's plenty to about this time of year, so let Cane's take something off your plate by putting something on it, like hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Experience a piece of history this September and pay tribute to those that have served in the Vietnam War. Delaware County Veterans Services invites you to visit the Wall That Heals from September 12th through the 15th at Havener Park in Liberty Township. Witness the official 3/4 scale replica of the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. The Wall That Heals is free and open to the public 24 hours a day until 2 p.m. on the 15th. For volunteering opportunities and to learn more, please visit thewallthathealsohio.com.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
You were charging your phone? I waited hours for you.
That's how long it takes.
Join Metro and get a free Motorola Edge that'll charge for the day in 15 minutes. At Metro, there's no activation fees. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Bring your number ID and sign up for Metro Flex Plus plan. Offer not available if at T-Mobile or have been with Metro in the past 180 days. Requires 68-watt charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary.
This week, find hot summer deals in one stop at Meijer. Shop locally grown sweet corn, 5 for $2, pork butt for $1.69 per pound, and hamburger helper for just $1. Plus, earn M-Perks points every time you shop for groceries, apparel, and at the pump. You even earn points at the Meijer Pharmacy, so schedule your flu shot today. Available now. Meijer has all you need in just one stop, and the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At Progressive, we know there's a lot of things you can track. Steps, calories, heart rate, your pet steps, screen time, the whereabouts of your favorite celebrity, how long you slept, how long you didn't sleep, how long you thought about sleeping, how long you thought about sleeping. But none of these things could save you money. Unlike Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate based on how and how much you drive. It's much better for your bottom line than tracking your Cocker Spaniel's resting heart rate. So download the Progressive app today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The perfect ratio of sports talk, dogs, pro wrestling, and gambling advice.
It's science.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
We always got room for pro wrestling on this show. And because of that, we're going to bring on one of our favorites here. He covers the Brownies for Awful Announcing. He's a big wrestling fan like me. He's Ben Axelrod. Ben, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Still getting over that SummerSlam hangover. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing well, man. I'll definitely hit you up about that on the back half here. But let's start with one of the big stories hovering over the Browns right now, and it's this whole Amari Cooper, Brandon Ayuk, San Francisco, and Cleveland trying to figure out a trade here. What do you think about this? What would you think about the swap if the Browns were to acquire Brandon Ayuk? What do you think that could do for their ceiling?
Yeah, I think a couple of things there. I think, doing Amari Cooper for Brandon Ayuk as a one-of-one swap is a really interesting conversation because I think Brandon Ayuk is a player who's obviously younger than Amari Cooper. I think he probably has higher upside. But when you just look at the 2024 season, I don't think that's a move that necessarily raises the Browns' ceiling all that much. I think Brandon Ayuk and Amari Cooper are pretty comparable when you're only looking at the 2024 season and what they would be able to accomplish in this Browns offense. So I think that made it a really interesting conversation for the Browns, just because there is so much emphasis being put on this season when you look at where the roster's at and where some of the contracts are at. And this could realistically be one of their better chances to make a run here. So, but then, the whole fallout with Amari being seemingly upset about it, I think a lot of that was understandable, because I think that, Amari entered this offseason looking to capitalize on the massive year he had last year and get one of those big extensions. And the Browns really showed no willingness to really even engage with him on those negotiations. They did revise his contract, and he got some guarantees moved around, and I think he got $5 million in performance-based bonuses added, incentives added to his contract. But ultimately, he didn't get that big payday. But now he'll have the ability to test the free agent market next offseason. But I think it's really understandable why he feels how he feels. But I also think it's understandable why the Browns, we're sniffing around Brandon Ayuk, looking to make a move that could set them up not just for 2024, but for years to come with one of the best wide receivers in football.
Ben, when you look at the decision not to play Deshaun, obviously he didn't play this first preseason game, and I think I've seen that he's not scheduled to play against Minnesota. Do you think that's the right move, or do you think he's a guy that you should get him at least a few snaps in these preseason games?
I think ideally you'd like him out there. I've always kind of rolled my eyes at the idea, at least in terms of, the starters, that these are crucial snaps for them. But when you look at the Deshaun Watson and the lack of football he's really played dating back to 2021 when he sat out that season with the Houston Texans, I think every snap is valuable for Deshaun Watson. So, I think the good news is that he's been participating, pretty full go here in training camp, which I think coming off a shoulder injury where you had surgery to your throwing shoulder, I think that was always something that could have been in question. But I think ideally you would like him out there, but the Browns clearly have a very specific plan for him. And they say he's going to get the bulk of the reps in the joint practices with the Vikings this week. So you kind of have to take them at their word as far as that goes. But I think ideally you would like him out there, just because he hasn't played in a game environment on a consistent basis here now, coming up on 5 years.
Ben Axelrod covers the Browns for Awful Announcing, joining us here on the Fan via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Let's go down to the trenches on the offensive side of the ball here. Ben had some unfortunate news that involved a former Buckeye and Luke Whippler. He's dealing with a very significant injury there, an ankle injury. Talk about that offensive line. I know they made a move this weekend, the depth that they have now. Just your thoughts on, as you know, one of the most important units of a football team.
Yeah, I think that's something that's actually flown under the radar for the Browns this preseason, is that this offensive line unit is really pretty beat up. You have Jed Wills still recovering from an MCL injury. You have Jack Conklin still recovering from his injury. You've got, right now, James Hudson is penciled in to be a starter in week 1. And obviously there's still about a month to go until that becomes a reality. But, Browns fans have seen James Hudson out there. If he's your starting left tackle or right tackle, that's probably not the best sign for this offensive line. So the good news is you did have DeJuan Jones, really showcase himself last year as a future cornerstone of this offensive line, but even he's dealt with injuries of his own. You saw them make the trade for Nick Harris to kind of solidify that interior offensive line depth, and he's a guy who's obviously familiar with the Browns, their offense, their system. But between losing Bill Callahan as your coach and the injuries they've dealt with, this offensive line has really kind of taken a beating this offseason, and I think that's something that's flown under the radar because as cliche as it is, it starts up front, and right now the Browns are kind of battling right there.
Ben, where are you at on this whole dome versus renovation argument, and ultimately, what do you think happens at the end? Who wins?
Yeah, I'm fine with the Dome. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily for it. I do think the stadium needs a significant upgrade. I think just the stadium was really rushed when it was built in 1999, and you're already seeing it being outdated in terms of other NFL stadiums. So I do think they need to upgrade. So if your options are to build a whole new stadium or to just renovate the current one, I think it makes a lot more sense to just build a whole new one and kind of start from the ground up. Now, as far as what will happen, I think this is a done deal. Like, I think they are moving to Brook Park. I think, the Browns wouldn't have released that video showcasing this state-of-the-art, Dallas Cowboys level type of stadium that at times looked like the Sphere in Las Vegas if they didn't think that it was something that was going to come to fruition. It's kind of hard to walk back from that one. So I think right now what you're seeing is a lot of posturing from our local officials. I think no mayor or no councilman or what have you wants to be known as the person who let the Browns leave Cleveland for Brook Park, even though, Brook Park is literally a 2-minute drive from Cleveland. Parts of it are basically Cleveland. So I think that part of it's kind of overblown. But right now I think you're seeing a lot of people kind of covering for what's inevitably going to happen when the Browns build this new stadium.
So speaking of Cleveland Browns Stadium, the stadium was on fire, about a week ago when WWE came to town for SummerSlam, but more importantly, the Tribal Chief returned.
Acknowledge me.
Ben, just talk about what that meant for the city and how cool it was for Cleveland to be able to host something like that.
It was really cool. I've been to 4 WrestleManias now, and it's always cool to see, to go to different cities and see WWE just take over the entire city. But it's a totally different experience when it's the city you live in and seeing WWE come to your home turf and take over the entire city. WWE and TKO, their parent company, they have this down to a T from, the activations that they do around town. They turn it into a whole weekend event, starting with, SmackDown on Friday night, then the event on Saturday. I thought it was really cool. I thought Cleveland did a great job. I think if there was one negative, it was a great show too. There was a lot that happened in the show. I think if there was one negative, it was that a lot of people didn't seem to have a great experience at Cleveland Browns Stadium in terms of getting in and out of there, and no Wi-Fi service or cell phone service, which can be an issue at those big events. But I thought it was an awesome experience for Cleveland, and especially once Cleveland gets this big stadium in Brook Park, I would expect it to be happening on a more consistent basis moving forward.
Ben, it was 2 names that I've been hearing a lot about since training camp opened up, and they actually both are on the offensive side of the ball. David Njoku, who they say has looked dominant with Vrabel there, and Cedric Tillman. Which one of these guys do you think needs to have a bigger year?
I would say from those 2, I would say Tillman, just because I think, Njoku's coming off a Pro Bowl season. I think he's already established as one of the upper echelon tight ends in the NFL. Now, from a Browns perspective, the Browns need David Njoku to pick up where he left off, and he's basically their de facto number 2 wide receiver behind Amari Cooper. So from a Browns perspective, the answer is David Njoku. But from a just individual basis, it's time for Cedric Tillman to get going. He was highly touted as a rookie last season, really didn't show much once the regular season started and fell out of the rotation. But he's a guy who has a ton of talent. The Browns, you look at their wide receiver pecking order, I don't think Amari Cooper is going to be back next season. You've obviously got Jerry Jeudy tied up now to a long-term deal. Elijah Moore is entering the last year of his contract, and he didn't show a lot last year that made you think they're going to re-sign him to a long-term deal. So, it's there for Cedric Tillman. If he wants to become the Browns' number 2 wide receiver moving forward, it's totally there for the taking. So I think there's it's a big opportunity for him, and it would be cool to see him take advantage of it.
He's Ben Axelrod. He covers the Browns for Awful Announcing. We always appreciate your time, Ben, and I'm sure we'll be hitting you up soon, man. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, anytime. Ben was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Gas Hotline. Coming up in the Buckeye Bulletin, a former Buckeye quarterback. He gives his take on who he thinks will be the guy at the most important position. You'll hear that next in the Buckeye Bulletin. It's Rothman and Ice right here on the Fan.
Your morning just got beefier. Morning Juice with Beamer, Bobby, and Shark.
Weekdays from 6 to 9.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Score a goal with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the checking account that rewards you for supporting the crew. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, official credit union of the Columbus Crew. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Anthony here for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Rich is rolling out all of his new Hondas at 2.9% up to 60 months. Just not including the Civic Si and Civic Type R, but all the other awesome new Hondas, 2.9%. You love certified? He has the dream deal. 0.99% APR for 36 months on the 23s and 24s, Civics, HRVs, CRVs, pilots, and passports. When you think Honda, you have to visit Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Get organized with a new Dakota Closet System on sale now at Menards. Dakota Closets are versatile and can be installed anywhere, from home offices and laundry rooms to walk-in or reach-in closets, and even kids' playrooms. Dakota Closets are available to take home today and install with just a screwdriver, giving you more time to organize. Design your dream project using our 3D closet planner. You create closets in-store or online today.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof.
It's the summer sell-down at Performance Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Get 0% for 36 months on select Wranglers, Gladiators, and Grand Cherokees with no payments for 90 days. One Performance, 2 locations, Georgesville and Delaware.
With approved credit from Stellantis Financial Services on select 24 in-stock inventory. Cannot combine offers. Ends 8/30/24.
Bishop and Friends.
If athletes become employees, does unlimited transfer matter? When you hear Saban say all that he said over the last few years about we need an NFL model, this is the control back.
Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hey, Buckeye fans. Ready for the chance to win one of 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences? As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip for 2 to the Oregon game, and exclusive access to the Ryan Day Coaches Show. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 winners. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
It's time that we face the facts when it comes to organ, eye, and tissue donation. It exists to save and heal lives. It's a way to look out for one another, to continue a legacy and give the gift of a fuller future, the gift of life.
But what about the barriers around organ donation?
Cost, age, religion, race, or health status are not factors that can get in the way. All it really takes is one epic yes. Register today to become an organ, eye, and tissue donor at donatelifeohio.org.
This year, Dell Technologies' Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the heat? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on train systems, including 0% APR for 60 months.
All right, welcome back in. Tyvis Powell in for AR today. T, let's knock out a Buckeye Bulletin. You know, on Friday when I was out, you know, AR and I believe Clay Hall was in and Adam King was in on Thursday. So thanks to those guys for filling in for me. But they had a chance to catch up with the former Buckeye quarterback in Greg Fry. Cincinnati guy, went to St. X, you know, second team All Big Ten for a couple years here. Quality player, man. The dude could go. I remember he was coaching us at Pick North, Tyvis. He was our, you know, one of the assistant coaches in one practice I'll never forget it. Like, he put on the red ponies. He put on the red ponies, and he came out there and cooked us.
Really?
He still had it. The mobility, cannon of an arm. Yeah, like it was crazy. I'll never forget it. Put the old school red ponies on. Came out to the practice field and absolutely cooked us, man.
Wow.
I'll never forget it. We were all like, dang. Coach Fry, he's still like that. He's still like that. But, he's a guy that obviously knows the position very, very well. And he was on with the guys on Friday. And if you missed it, here's his thoughts on Will Howard potentially being the guy in 2024.
It's a combination of things. He has experience, obviously, at a pretty high level at Kansas State. I had a chance, Jackson and I met him this spring, and we talked with him for maybe 10 minutes or so. And I really was enamored with his personality, but also the fact that he wants to be coached. He has asked them to coach him hard. And I asked him about his coaching experience at Kansas State. He says they didn't really coach me, which shocked me. Absolutely shocked me. So I see a kid that really wants to learn, is hungry for it. He knows this is his ticket to the next level, so he is all in. And I also think because he brings a lot to the table from a throwing standpoint, I think he's going to be very smart with where he goes with the football. But he also brings an attribute of being able to run, being more mobile than we've had. And Coach and Ryan Day wants that. He flat out wants that. So I think he fits the bill. When you got somebody that's willing to be coached and he's going to be coached by those two guys, I don't see any way this doesn't work.
One of the things that I really liked hearing from Will this offseason was actually two things. I love the embrace of him saying it's natty or bust. Like, don't run from it. You know what time it is. You're going to be potentially the leader of this team. Embrace that. But also I like that he said, I don't need to be a superhero. And I think that's a great mentality to have coming into this year. Like, his number is going to get called in certain spots throughout the year where he has to put the cape on somewhere, grab the Captain America shield and do his thing.
Yeah.
But with the structure of this team, like, if he's got that mentality with the skill set that he has and as, Coach Fry was talking about right there, like, you just keep the train moving, right? Like, the term game manager was always this thing where it was just such a, like, it felt like a degrading thing for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But that's the job.
I think that one of the guys that in recency that I felt like did that a lot, where they felt like I didn't have to do all these crazy things, was CJ.
Mm-hmm.
Not CJ in the Georgia game. CJ before that Georgia game.
Yeah, CJ at the Georgia game was full of vibranium from Wakanda.
Yeah, CJ like from the Georgia game is CJ that you see now in the NFL. That's
right.
who that is.
Right.
But CJ before that game was a guy that thought to himself, I just want to get the ball in the best talent hands. I know that Garrett, Chris, Jackson, like, those guys are going to make the plays. I just got to get the ball to them. And, so many times where he was like, run, just take over. He was like, no. I got somebody down there that can get it down there way better than I can. And everybody loved it. He had a very successful career here. Obviously was the number 2 pick. But to me, he never came off as a superhero. Like, he just seemed like he was a guy that just got the ball to his guys. And I think if he can have a successful career like that, Will Howard could do the same thing, but Will actually does run the ball as well. So he could actually be a little bit better than what CJ was, but it ultimately comes down to him getting the ball to his guys, which he has a lot of talent around him to get the ball to. So he just got to get him the ball and get out the way.
He's 14-1 right now at Bet365 to win the Heisman. Tied with, and I'm going to give this a go. I haven't fully got it yet. Nico Iamaleava, I believe, is the Tennessee quarterback.
That
a lot of people
really good. I don't know if it is the name, but you made it sound like it is.
You remember when we were all out of the gates learning Tua's name?
Yeah.
Like, this is the name. I think we got it.
Let me see.
I think it's Nico Iamaleava. Leava. I don't know if I have that, so forgive me if I'm wrong on that. But he's a guy to watch out for. He's tied with Will Howard right now. Look, so you're right about the quarterback run, the run game there. I mean, Chip Kelly, last 2 years in the Pac-12, UCLA was number 1 in that conference in rushing yards per game. So, yeah, with Quinshon, Trevion, the other guys, and Will, that should be a nice little unit there for sure. Good soundbite there from Greg Fry, the former Buckeye quarterback. We were talking earlier about, the quarterback room and some buzz around Julian saying, you still got Aaron Nolan in there and Lincoln Keenholz and Devin Brown. It's a stacked room, and it's only going to get, juiced up even more next year when Tavien St. Clair gets here, because he is a very highly touted recruit coming out of high school. And you made me aware of this, and this is him, I think, finding out from his head coach that what?
He's the number 1 player in the country, according to what is it, Rivals?
I think it's rivals.com. CB, go ahead and play that moment for us.
Great example of hometown kid, small town dreams coming true, and he's an inspiration for not only just us, but people all across this country. So let's make sure the world knows that the #1 player, according to Rivals website, lives here in Bell Fountain High School and is playing football for the Chieftains. Hey!
That's a good story for my day, I guess. But, we still got to get the job done tonight, so let's just go out there and have fun. Let's just go and do what we do and, show the world why we're #1 all around here. So let's go. Here we go.
Just seems like they got another dude coming in the mix. I mean, 5-star all over the place. I know that was Rival 24/7. They got him as, a 5-star and the #9, ranked player in the country, the second best quarterback in the It's going to be an interesting offseason. I'm just going to say that. But congrats to Tavien St. Clair because, it seems like he's absolutely deserving of all the praise he's getting.
I just like what he's done. I mean, from a guy that came on the scene, last year at Ohio State camp after he got an offer to see where he's at now. I mean, this guy worked for everything. I mean, he went to the Elite 11 and he lit it up. Mm-hmm. So all of his rankings is legit because he earned all of that. It ain't because he's gifted physically or he's maybe made a couple of throws here and there. No, this guy's been consistent and he's consistently added something to his game every time you see him. So it's actually I love to see the fact that he is considered one of the best in the country.
Yeah, congrats to him for sure. Bell Fountain, Ohio. Guy right there, class of 2025. That is today's Buckeye Bulletin. Top of the hour. After a Timmy Hall update, we'll hit you with a deep dive. The AFC is supposed to be an absolute juggernaut of a conference this year. Who are some of the biggest X-factors as far as players go around the conference? Tyvis and I will throw out a few names. And then at the bottom of the hour, we'll go out to Pittsburgh and we will connect with Brooke Prior, who is the Steelers reporter for ESPN, get her take on what she saw from Justin Fields and the Steelers at the preseason game #1. That's all next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic. Oh, yes. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Bobby. When it comes to tackling a project as important as your roof, you want a company that cares about the product and experience they're going to deliver. At Newman Roofing, you're more than just a number. They believe in 100% customer satisfaction. And for your roofing needs, give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
It's Toyota's national sales event with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including Toyota's lineup of go-anywhere, do-anything trucks, like the powerful new Tundra. Now through September 3rd, you can get a new Tundra with low-rate financing, special leases, or customer cash up to $2,000, depending on model. And the 2024 Tacoma is now arriving at your Toyota dealer with dominating power, legendary capability, and captivating style. Get details at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Bobby Carpenter's dad and retired pro football player Rob Carpenter was tired of dealing with knee pain, but finally found relief without surgery at QC Kinetics.
Yeah, this was nothing really like a surgery. I mean, it was not painful, and the results were good. And, I'm walking out the door and walking pain-free, so it was a good experience.
Dr. Tessner and the medical professionals at QC Kinetics treat patients like Rob using regenerative medicine that helps heal and restore damaged joints with no downtime.
I wasn't really exercising much, and I gained weight because of that. So the upside of it obviously is I'm able to exercise without any pain or stiffness in the knee, and it's got my cardiovascular system back into shape, and I feel a lot better. And again, lost the weight. So what more can you ask for?
Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation in Dublin or Gahanna. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. Or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
More and more people are falling into problem gambling. Mary Haven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance.
Confidential and judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jung's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real-person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall. You know college football is getting close when the preseason AP poll gets released. Georgia is at the top, 46 first-place votes. Then it's Ohio State second with 15 first-place votes. Oregon is third. They got 1. That October 12th game in Oregon is going to be one of the biggest in this college football season. Texas is 4. Bama rounds out the top 5. You've got the other Big Tens, Penn State 8, Michigan 9, USC 23, and Iowa chops his guys, cracking the poll at 25. 12 days away, got that first college football game in Ireland, August 24th. It's Florida State and Georgia Tech. MLB action today, the Reds will start a home set versus the Cardinals. That's at 6:40. And the Guardians start a home series against the Cubs, also at 6:40. This one's sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. BMI, your best credit union 6 years in a row, has 47 financial coaches to help you on your journey. Visit bmifcu.org/coach.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice got the former Buckeye and national champion, the People's Champ, Tyvis Powell in the house today. Bottom of the hour, Brooke Prior, Steelers reporter for ESPN. She will hop on with us. Get the latest vibe around their quarterback situation and very interesting roster that they have going on there. You know, before we get into some X factors around the AFC, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day just about, you know, he posed this question to me and he said, you know, if you could be blessed with one superpower, which superpower would you want? I don't want the ability to read minds. I don't want to know what people are thinking all the time. Like, I think about the thoughts that are in my head.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what's going on in other people's heads. I picked to be able time travel, like to just be where I want to be.
That's what
then and there.
I feel like everybody, teleportation.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
I think a lot of people would pick that.
Would that be number one for you? To be able to teleport anywhere?
If I can pick a superpower.
Yeah.
I want to be like Deadpool.
Oh, just be able to literally get shot, stabbed, and just come right on back.
Yeah, but I don't want to look like that, though. I want to look like me, but
that's tough.
Like I would still be playing football today because nothing would be messed up. You think LeBron is something at 40? Watch this. I'll be 55 out there in quarter. What you talking about?
You will go down as the richest player in NFL history. Because you're never going to retire.
If he gets hurt, he'll be right back next week. It doesn't matter.
Have you seen the new Deadpool?
No, not yet.
You got to do yourself a favor and see that.
I got to watch the new Bad Boys last night.
How was that?
It was if you haven't watched it, I laughed so hard in that movie like 5 times.
This is the 4th one, correct?
And I would, if I had to rank the Bad Boys, 2 is the best to me, 4 is second, 1 is third, and 3 is 4.
How many you have? How many daughters?
2 daughters.
You got 2 daughters. Are you going to reenact the dating scene from?
Yeah, I tell my wife. It's funny you say that because Bad Boys 2 came on TV the other day, and I told my wife when that scene come on, this is me and Cardell right here. This is exactly what we gonna do.
When the prom day comes to the door.
Even with his daughter way older than mine.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, I can see myself doing that. A couple of the homies I have, they all have daughters, so I could be that uncle.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That just pulls up.
Let them know. Or you could. You know what's worse? If you ever seen Den of Thieves?
I have the garage scene.
Yeah, that's even worse. He had a whole flock of dudes.
Squad of guys in there too. But is it out on? Can I get it? Is it still in theater?
It's on. You can can rent it on Amazon Prime.
Okay, I'll probably wait a little bit.
Yeah. You know, it's going to be on one of them streaming things.
They're turning movies around quicker than they ever have, honestly.
Yeah, they are. I wouldn't be surprised if Deadpool is on there in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked either, man. That the most recent Deadpool Wolverine, highly suggested.
Yeah, you told me it was 9.5.
It was a banger, man. It was.
I gotta watch it.
Ryan Reynolds is just hilarious. The Deadpool character himself
is funny.
It's hilarious because it's like, you know, because it's a lot of cussing and stuff that goes on in Deadpool.
Yes.
So it's like for the adult version of the cartoon, the comic world. Yeah. And I appreciate that type of humor, man. But yeah, that was good stuff there for sure. The AFC, I think the AFC is going to be off the chain this year.
Yeah.
We know that in the AFC North that it's always going to be tough, physical football, just really good squads top to bottom. At least on paper, right? Usually it doesn't always pan out that way because of injuries or whatever it may be year in and year out. But there's a lot of people around the league that just have so much respect for the AFC North. And then you look at the South and you got some questions about, you know, can Trevor Lawrence, like, where we at, Trev? You just got $55 million.
He ain't got to do nothing no more now. He got paid.
He is paid. You ain't lying about that. But like when you just look around this conference and I pose the question to you, Who are some of the big time, or you think can be some of the big time X factors this year around the AFC, the American Football Conference?
Well, I gotta. When you said this, I ended up doing a quick one, and I ended up coming up with 6 names. Okay. 6 names, 6 different teams.
Okay.
And it's only one of them that I'm like, I don't know if he considered an X factor or not. So I'm gonna start with him because I don't know. You're gonna tell me if this X. When you think about Buffalo. Mm-hmm. Who is their best player non-Josh Allen offensively?
Their best player not – my mind goes to either James Cook or Dalton Kincaid.
Great. So this guy counts. Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel would be the X factor at Buffalo because this is a guy who has some experience carrying the ball. He's a guy that's he's like a mini Percy Harvin. He can run the ball. He can run routes, can really take over the game. And it's somebody that I don't know necessarily if they're game planning for right out the bat because Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis is gone. So now you went out and you drafted Keon Coleman, which he's going to get a lot of emphasis because he's a big body guy. But then you just said you got Dalton Kincaid and you got James Cook that you got to worry about. And I think they will be a more running team. You got to find a way to help out Josh Allen this year, and I think that run game was successful enough for them to believe in it. But Curtis Samuel is a guy that right off the bat, I don't think people are thinking about enough because when he was with the Panthers, he was electric. When he was with Washington, he was okay. But if now he's back in that role again where he can become a guy early on, nobody's going to think about, but if he makes plays and they utilize him how I think he should be utilized there, he could be a huge X factor.
I like that you brought up the Carolina part of the equation because Joe Brady, who was their offensive coordinator, he worked with Curtis in Carolina. So I think there's definitely a chance that he has more of a prominent role this year. I just can't wait to see who emerges as a guy. Or is it kind of like one of those offenses where it's week to week? Like you remember the Packers last year, right? There's their whole collection of playmakers.
Yeah.
You didn't know who it was.
Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, and
Jaden Reed from Michigan State. And I want to say, was it Wicks? They had another one.
Tavien Wicks or something like that.
And so that, to me, made them dangerous.
Yeah, because you definitely didn't know. I tell you what, in fantasy, you couldn't take none of them because
guess what?
they either going to get you 20 points or nothing.
And guess what? I want no parts this year either.
I take Reed out of all of that.
Really? That's the guy you were rolling with?
I just think he could do more.
They're going to be nasty this year. But I like your call out of the gate with Curtis. That was a wild card I wasn't expecting. I'm going with the wide receiver 2 out of the gate.
Okay. I got a bunch of them on this list. Let's see if you pick one.
I'm going with Mike Williams.
I got him on the list. Bam.
I'm going with Mike Williams. Garrett Wilson is going to be their horse at receiver. I think Garrett Wilson is in store for just an absolute monster year. When you look at the history of Aaron Rodgers, when he trusts a wide receiver, like the way he did with Devontae in Green Bay, like you're going to get so much work coming your way.
Yeah.
Like the target share is going to be absolutely crazy. But Mike Williams, I think, has that ability to be that threat opposite Garrett to really open things up, right, with his speed. He's been banged up a lot.
Yeah.
That's just his thing there. And so they feel good about where he is out of the gate. But I could have easily gone with, a couple of their offensive linemen. But for the Jets, I think when you have Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson already as pillars of your offense, and you could add a guy that defenses have to respect, especially with some speed, I'm going to go with Mike Williams.
Did you also see Braylon Allen in the preseason with the Jets?
Oh, how did he look?
It's going to be a nice 1-2 punch.
Okay.
He dropped that shoulder on somebody, and he kept it moving afterwards.
He's a monster, man.
Yeah.
He really is. He really is a monster.
He dropped that shoulder, and he kept it moving. It wasn't like he boom and he fell down. No, it was boom, I'll see you later.
Like the juggernaut from X-Men, just running through brick wall after brick wall.
Yeah, it's going to be nice over there.
All right, so I'm going Mike Williams out of the gate. Who you got next?
This next one, I went to your neck of the woods.
Oh, okay.
I went down to Baltimore.
You coming to the castle?
And I thought about that offense.
I think I know who this is. I love it. I absolutely love it.
You don't even know who it is.
I know who it is.
Who is it?
Put the Bateman signal in the sky.
There it is. Rashad Bateman. It's time. Like, they done paid you. Yes. You're not going to be a guy that nobody's thinking about. They thinking about this run game that they got to stop. They thinking about Mark Andrews because he's earned it. And Zay Flowers has become the number one playmaker over there in the receiving game. You're on the island outside by yourself, single coverage. You just got paid. It's time. It's time. I ain't hearing no injury, none of that. It's time. You'd have been injured enough.
He absolutely was on my list.
If he comes out and he it's going to be hard to beat Baltimore if he is a dude.
Because and then you also add, too, Isaiah Likely at tight end.
Yeah, they can go 12 personnel.
But Rashad Bateman was drafted as a first-round wide receiver, and he hasn't brought anything to the table.
Is he from Purdue or Minnesota?
He was a Gopher.
Okay.
He balled out at Minnesota.
Yeah, he did.
He really did. But, yeah, he was definitely on my list as well. So I like that. That definitely raises their ceiling for sure. I'm going with the guy that I think now has a little bit more pressure on him than he did just a few days ago. And I'm going with Xavier Worthy.
Oh.
Because I don't know what's going on with Rashee Rice. Like, I haven't heard anything as far as is a suspension coming. It's been quiet on that front around him.
It has been quiet.
And then you come out of this weekend and Marquise Hollywood Brown is dealing with an injury, and he may miss a little bit of time. That's yet to be seen. But that we all watched last year that wide receiving core left so much meat on the bone. They led the league in drops. And now he comes into a situation to where he has the best quarterback in the league, maybe the best head coach in the league. And Andy Reid knows what to do with speedsters.
Yeah.
He's done it twice at a very high level with Deshaun Jackson and Tyreek Hill. And so now you come into this situation with a team that's looking to be the first team in the Super Bowl era to ever three-peat. I think because of the uncertainty around Hollywood Brown and Rashee Rice, if he's going to be suspended, I don't know what that Shefty about that this week. I'm going with the rookie from Texas. Give me Xavier Worthy.
Let me ask you a miscellaneous question, and then I'll get back to this list real quick.
We got
Brandon Ayuk situation. I told you that I don't think it's smart for him to get traded because the team he's on is probably going to win a Super Bowl. If Kansas City wanted to trade with them, would you take that trade? If you was Brandon Ayuk, would you be like, you know what? I'll go there for 1 year.
I would absolutely love to go to Kansas City. Okay. The problem is when Kyle Shanahan sees Andy Reid calling his cell phone, he's sending him right to voicemail. He's sending him right because that's the team that they're in their way.
They lost twice too. So
and by the way,
he blew both leads.
It just popped into my brain. Like the Buffalo Bills traded the pick with Kansas City to get Xavier Worthy this past draft. I don't know what that's about. Because when I just mentioned teams that are in each other's way, like if you're Buffalo, Pat Mahomes is on the Iron Throne. You have to find a way to get past him, and you trade that pick to the team that's in your way, and they're going to pick up potentially their number one wide receiver of the future. I don't get that.
I'm not high on Buffalo this year. All right, my last pick before we run out of time. I'm going to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I'm going with a guy by the name of Roman Wilson. Why do I pick him? Because I know we got the two-headed monster at the run game. Obviously, the quarterback situation is what it is. You got Pat Fryermuth. You got George Pickens. A lot of attention. Guess who is not going to get a lot of attention? Roman Wilson. And we seen this guy, he maybe didn't have the numbers as a Wolverine, but he had the talent. He went to the Senior Bowl, lit it up. Went to the Combine, lit it up. So I think this guy is going to be really good in the NFL, and I think that he can come right out the gate and make a lot of plays because nobody's going to be thinking about him because of all the other weapons around him.
I think that's a really good call. I like that for sure. And when you kept saying Roman, I thought you were talking about my tribal chief.
Acknowledge me.
Coming up next in pre-snap reads, Jerry Jones. He wants to clarify some things about CeeDee Lamb. You'll hear that next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Question from a listener. Do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Jerry. Pretty hot this summer, huh?
This kind of heat makes me want to invent something that cools everything off.
Well, they did invent the air conditioner.
Get Eco.
ECO. Get Eco today, and we'll fix your AC today.
Your house will be cool like snow.
Cool like an ice rink.
Fixed in a blink.
Faster than you can think.
Our plumbers can even fix your sink.
Well, plumbing won't help much with the heat. But yeah, we can fix your sink and anything else that has pipes attached to it.
Get Eco.
ECO.
When your house is cool, your people are cool.
Our HVAC technicians can be at your house today and quickly repair your air conditioner today.
Fix the sink and cool off with a drink. Ooh, I need to invent a new drink.
I'll bring the ice.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Hey, it's Anthony here from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Rich is rolling out all of his new Hondas at 2.9% up to 60 months. Just not including the Civic Si and Civic Type R, but all the other awesome new Hondas, 2.9%. You love certified? He has the dream deal. 0.99% APR for 36 months on the 23s and 24s, Civics, HRVs, CRVs, pilots, and passports. When you think Honda, you have to visit Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
The Fan is your home for the Dallas Cowboys.
No, we're not. You can't say that. Take two.
The Fan is your home of the Buckeyes. Yes, that's right. Same thing, but more playoff success. Now give Big Voice Guy another brandy. Thank you. The Fan.
It's time that we face the facts when it comes to organ, eye, and tissue donation. It exists to save and heal lives. It's a way to look out for one another, to continue a legacy and give the gift of a fuller future, the gift of life.
But what about the barriers around organ donation?
Cost, age, religion, race, or health status are not factors that can get in the way. All it really takes is one epic yes. Register today to become an organ, eye, and tissue donor at donatelifeohio.org.
Hey, welcome to IKEA's Complete Sleep event. Don't miss dreamy offers on sleep essentials.
I've tried counting sheep, but keep losing track.
We've got you. IKEA family members save 15% off your purchase of $300 or more on select sleep comfort items. Plus, we're throwing a pajama party in-store on August 31st. Wear your favorite PJs for a free breakfast.
Ooh, we have matching PJs.
Don't wait. Go to IKEA-USA.com/bettersleep or visit your local store today. Offer valid August 7th through September 10th. U.S. only. See store and IKEA-USA.com for full details and eligible items. Restrictions apply.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
The Ohio Chapter International Society of Arboriculture's mission is committed to advancing responsible tree care practices. They remind herbicide and pesticide users to always read and follow the product label. The label is the law, so take the time to know how it should be used and how to use it safely. To find out more, there are over 1,000 qualified arborists in Ohio. Visit www.treesforohio.org to find an arborist near you. That's www.treesforohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, sunny with a high close to 80. Partly cloudy tonight, low 61. Heading into tomorrow, we're looking at sunny skies with a high of 83 with a few late day showers. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, welcome back in. Let me let you know that at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Tyvis, your Guardians are hosting the Cubbies tonight. First pitch of that one is at 6:40. My Redlegs are hosting the St. Louis Cardinals. 6:40 first pitch for that one as well. You know, you heard me earlier with the Luis Castillo love, but it was justified. That's a former Red. And now we got a former Red coming into GABP tonight in Sonny Gray. And I'm looking at his case.
Okay.
I'm looking at his strikeouts for tonight, and they're at 6.5. I hate to do this to my squad, but I think I'm going to take the over. I like the juice on it at plus 105.
Y'all ain't been hitting well, huh?
Really haven't. He's 10th in the league in all of Major League Baseball in strikeouts. So give me the over for Sonny Gray. 6.5 Ks tonight against my Reds. You interested in anything with your baseball team? You want me to throw anything at you?
Well, yeah, I'm looking at the over-unders on the strikeouts as well. It's Ben Lively versus, what is his name?
Shota
Imanaga.
Yep.
Now, he's been really good. The Guardians have not been hitting well lately. Now, don't get me wrong. They won yesterday. Woo, woo, woo. But outside of that, they ain't really been hitting like that. So, and his is 5.5, I think it is. It's the over under 5.5.
It is. The juice on the over is plus 100. The under is minus 130.
I think as crazy as it sounds, I think I will take him on the over on strikeouts.
Now I'm mad at it.
It's unfortunate.
You're right. Got a little spooky going into the weekend with the Twins being only 3.5 games back. But now here we are. You guys are still up top the AL Central. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Bottom of the hour, Brooke Prior, Steelers beat writer for ESPN. She will join us to talk about Justin Fields and everything going on in their neck of the woods. We all saw, well, if you missed it, there was a hilarious situation coming out that happened this weekend that involved Jerry Jones and CeeDee Lamb. So CeeDee Lamb caught wind of a quote from Jerry Jones to where Jerry, and I'm paraphrasing here a little bit, where Jerry says, you know, really not a rush right now of getting the CeeDee Lamb deal done. And so CeeDee finds one of the beat writers' tweets, found the video, quote tweeted that, and just typed out LOL. And then after that, Tyvis, we got this era of athlete, right? When they either want a new deal or they want to trade or whatever. It's the deletion of social media stuff, right? Like, I'm going to delete the pictures and from my bio, I'm going to delete that I'm a Dallas Cowboy.
Isn't that crazy how telling that little thing is nowadays?
So that's how these guys talk to us. That's how they get, their message out there. So CeeDee Lamb went to do that. And so CB, I believe, has some sound here from Jerry Jones. And, maybe here's old Jerry, maybe trying to clean things up a little bit when it comes to his superstar receiver.
I think I got in trouble the other day when I said, look, we're not urgent about CD. Well, no one appreciates CD being on the field any more than I do. But let me say this, he wouldn't be taking a snap out here today if he'd been here for you've got to use your head when you expose key players. That gives the other younger players a chance to do it. We know exactly what CD can do, and he worked out with Dak. And so we wouldn't have him out here. It has really not anything to do with his contract. Dak won't be out here this afternoon. And so the bottom line is, what it is no, there's not that urgency. Now, I understand completely the angst that's happening when you're anxious about and someone says anything about whether you're missed or not. Well, CD, you're missed, okay? But you're not missed out here competing, and it doesn't put any pressure any place on us. It's not pressure out here today and in practice.
Okay. I got to be honest. I'm kind of confused.
He backpedaled everything, huh?
I guess
he's saying that I don't need you out here in practice right now. We don't need you competing in practice right now. We're not missing you in practice right now. That's what I think he's gathering.
Yeah, no, I think you might be right in saying that. I guess for me, I'm not connecting what that has to do with let's get the deal done.
Is he holding out? Like, is he?
Yeah, he's not even there.
Okay,
and he can get away with that because he's still on his rookie deal, and so the team has the ability when guys are still on their rookie deal to take the fines away, right? When you do come back, if you guys can work things out. So, to me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, listen,
right?
this thing is getting dragged out, and it's ridiculous. Like, he's getting paid. He's not. Don't nobody need to come up with no trade packages. I don't need to really be talking about this. The man will be a Dallas Cowboy. Jerry Jones will pay him. Why? Because you got two players on your offense right now that you're thinking about. You got to pay Dak and him. If you let Dak go, you're paying him. Even if you pay Dak, you're still keeping him. You got to keep a guy that makes the defense scared. You have nobody else outside of him that even keeps somebody up at night.
Right.
If CeeDee Lamb ain't out there, I can sleep really well. A defensive coordinator will be like, you know what, this is going to be the easiest game plan ever. But with CeeDee out there, it's challenging, so you're not going to get rid of him. I don't care if you offer him 3 first-round picks. You're not going to get rid of him. You're going to pay him, so just pay the man.
I agree with everything you said. You have the framework of the Justin Jefferson deal. He probably wants to be in that ballpark.
He's earned it. His numbers is
CeeDee went off last year.
Pretty close.
CeeDee went absolutely off.
Which is insane because I didn't know that they was that close, but their numbers is pretty darn close.
Yeah, I think I'm going to check
their
that.
Their first 4 years in the league, it's pretty close.
No, I agree, man. I mean, CeeDee's been an absolute home run hit there, and Justin got hurt last year, so that took him a little bit out of the race. But you're right, zooming out from last year, those guys have been, on that elite tier with Tyreek and Jamar Chase. So, do you like what they're doing with Dak? I don't know what that's about.
They're making him play this year.
What the hell is this about? Like, it's the most important position.
But this is the thing. This is where we at in the NFL. Because guys is getting paid that don't deserve to be paid at the quarterback position because there's a fear of, can I get it right the next time? I'm scared of what the unknown is. It's so hard to find a good quarterback in this league, and people be missing on the draft all the time. So when you got one, even if you're not 100% sold that he's the guy,
gotta pay him.
I gotta pay him.
You gotta pay him. Like, I would be open to hearing conversation about moving on from Dak if I knew the succession plan was rock solid.
Well, it ain't Trey Lance.
It's not that. It's not that. And so it feels like he's hitting free agency, and good for Dak. Dak's he's going to make so much money.
He's going to go to, I wonder where he would go.
Maybe the Raiders.
That would be a good place. Him and Devontae be nice.
Maybe Pittsburgh. Maybe.
No, he ain't going to Pittsburgh.
Oh. CB, you packing Deshaun's bags?
If it goes in that direction in terms of the season, I mean.
I got a hot take for them. You know who I really like for the Cleveland Browns?
Ooh, let me hear this.
I like Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I really do. I think he's going to be a really good player. Not saying that I'm ready to give him the keys right now. No, that's not the case. But I think in a few years, I like where he's headed. He's been trending up in the couple of years that he's been in the league.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
He's getting better every year. I know that yesterday on Saturday it was against the Threes, but for some odd reason, it's something about when he's out there at quarterback, that offense just goes. And I don't know what that's about, but I like it.
I'm not mad at that. I'll have to keep an eye on that for sure. I'll hit you with this before we go to break. Package deal. You get Dak Prescott. He wants to be a little petty. And you team up with Bill Belichick and you go play for the Giants.
The Giants, huh?
They got a number one receiver already in the building. They got a nasty defensive line. I'm just saying.
I mean,
things don't work out for Daniel Jones, Brian Daboll. Get an opening there.
Why Bill Belichick?
Because I just think he's coming back, and I think it would be cool to see those guys together. And I think that relationship could work.
Not Mike Vrabel?
Wouldn't be mad at that either. He'll be coaching somewhere next year for sure.
Where I want him to go?
Where?
Dak. If Dak wants to win a Super Bowl, he should go to the Seattle Seahawks.
You getting Geno out of there, huh?
I get Geno out of there for Dak for sure.
They wrote me off, but I ain't right back.
I think that would be nasty. You got
like
that run game. You got Jackson. You got Tyler. You got DK.
They brought in Washington's coordinator and Ryan Grubb.
Yeah. be pretty
They're going to throw the ball around. I like it. Brooke Prior, Steelers beat writer for ESPN, joins us next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Meet Abdullah Mahmood, problem gambling counselor at Maryhaven.
More and more people are falling into problem gambling. It can happen so quickly that you don't realize it until you face a crisis. Gambling issues often connect to depression, anxiety, or other addictions. Maryhaven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance.
Confidential and judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. The people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place. And aspiring comedian.
That's fun. What's your best joke?
All right, two windows were hanging out side by side. The first window says, "Sure is a hot day." The other one says, "A talking window."
That's pretty good, Wilson.
Bet you can't top that one.
Well, at Pella, we don't have the talking windows, but we do have the windows your friends will talk about.
Dang it, that's good.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island. This season on Nada Yada Island.
You were charging your phone? I waited hours for you.
That's how long it takes.
Join Metro and get a free Motorola Edge that'll charge for the day in 15 minutes. At Metro, there's no activation fees. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number ID and sign up for Metro Flex Plus plan. Offer not available if at T-Mobile or have been with Metro in the past 180 days. Requires 68-watt charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
Whether it's a walk-off granny or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 and older, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, Bob and Teresa Capace here. Anniversaries are a big deal and meant to be celebrated.
Join us for our 24th anniversary at Worthington Jewelers. Enjoy 10 to 60% off to celebrate this event, August 15th through the 17th.
Worthington Jewelers, your local hometown jeweler.
Hey, it's Bobby. When it comes to tackling a project as important as your roof, you want a company that cares about the product and experience they're going to deliver. At Newman Roofing, you're more than just a number. They believe in 100% customer satisfaction. And for your roofing needs, give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Always as tender as a well-done steak. This is Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice, the former Buckeye and national champion, Tyvis Powell in the house today. Going to light up the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline right now. and bring on Brooke Prior. Does a great job of covering the Pittsburgh Steelers over at ESPN. Brooke, happy Monday. How are you?
I am great. I mean, I just wrapped up the second to last Steelers practice out in Latrobe, and it was actually pleasant to be outside. Upper 70s, low humidity. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it is nice. We were talking about it earlier. The last few days, you wake up in the morning, you're getting kind of mid 60s, and it's okay, that football weather's trying to creep up on us. So that's great to hear. So let's talk about the former Buckeye and Justin Fields. For the folks that didn't catch the preseason game, what was your takeaway? What was your assessment of how he did, and what's to come for him moving forward?
Yeah, I think that Mike Tomlin kind of hit the nail on the head, and so did Justin Fields right after, where they talked about how those fumbled snaps kind of overshadowed the good that he did in those drives. Those two things, in addition to 2 sacks, he kind of killed those 3 drives that he had to start the game. But I talked with Arthur Smith today, the offensive coordinator. I said, what did you like about those series? And he said he felt like Justin was very decisive, and it looks like he's playing with more confidence than he's had in a while. And those are, I think, really big positives and really good takeaways for him after that game. He had, I think it was a sidearm throw to George Pickens, had a couple deep balls to Van Jefferson, one ruled out, but Justin said he did not think that was out. I tend to agree with him. But I think that he's doing everything you want to see out of him in the preseason. But at this point, I still think that Russell Wilson is the guy that goes out and starts week 1, and Justin Fields playing the way that he has just kind of slims down that margin for error that Russell Wilson has when he does get out there.
Brooke, they spent a lot of capital this year in the draft on offensive line. And when I think about where Russell came from and I think about Justin Fields in Chicago, the offensive line hadn't been great for neither one of those two. How confident are you that this offensive line, although they might be young, will be productive this year?
I think that they've got the tools to be productive. They definitely have the right demeanor to be productive. These guys are, the rookies especially, I think, have an edge. Both Zach Frazier and Mason McCormick were involved in a fight in camp early just to jump to Justin Fields' defense and when he got knocked over after a play. And then Troy Fautanu gave up those 2 sacks, but it turns out he was playing with that MCL sprain that's now, I think, keeping him out for a couple weeks from that game. He got injured early in the game, and it wasn't until he came out at halftime and asked for a knee brace that the team even knew something was wrong. So I think that these guys have the right kind of edge to be good. Zach Frazier has not. I think he repped with Justin Fields the 3rd series. It was Nate Herbig the first 2. But I do think that Frazier is who starts week 1, but Broderick Jones has been really good. I just think that this line, it should be the best they've had in a couple years, as long as, there aren't any more injuries or anything that kind of disrupts the rhythm that they're starting to get in.
Brooke Prior does a great job covering the Pittsburgh Steelers for ESPN, joining us here on The Fan. Brooke, let's talk about one of the, juicy stories that has popped up here recently that involves the Steelers, and that's Brandon Ayuk. What do you understand about where that was and where it is now? Are they still in the mix, or is this completely put to bed? What we got on Brandon Ayuk?
Well, it has been quiet a couple days, so I'm sure that things are going to ramp up here in the next couple, and we'll see Instagram posts and likes and whatever else that kind of cause us to go back into a frenzy, because that's the rhythm that it's been. But my understanding is that it's either he stays with the 49ers or he's traded to Pittsburgh. There aren't any other teams in the mix right now. Those are his 2 options. And from what I understand, there is very much mutual interest between the Steelers and Ayuk. They like each other. They have at least an idea of what Ayuk wants to be paid. It seems like the Steelers are amenable to that, but the 49ers don't want to part with him for what the Steelers can give up, and that's just draft capital right now. From the conversations I've had, they don't want to trade a player, and for the 49ers, they want a piece in return that can help them win now, because if all they were going to get was draft capital, this deal would have been done back around the draft. So the way I've been describing it, it's like when you're a kid and you want to have a sleepover at a friend's house, and you and the friend decide, oh yeah, we're going to have a sleepover. This is going to be great. But they haven't asked their parents' permission yet. And the parent now is going to have to step in and be like, oh, actually, that's not going to work. We have soccer practice in the morning. You can't go over to your friend's house. There's some other stuff going on. So there's definitely interest between Ayuk and the Steelers, but the 49ers have to sign off on it. And at this point, seems like they'd rather try to retain him than ship him off for not the return that they want to get back.
Brooke, let's talk about the steel curtain. You know, you had a bunch of guys that came in from trade or they signed, obviously Patrick Queen, Dante Jackson. You know, how are these guys going to make an impact, and what do you expect to see from this defense this year?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, talk about the edge on the offensive line. The same can be said for that linebacker room. Patrick Queen adds that same kind of just hard-hitting energy that I think really complements Landon Roberts and the kind of edge that he plays with, too. Dante Jackson has been running as a first-team corner. He hasn't practiced the last couple days. Don't know if he's banged up or what, but it seems like he's going to slot in there and play opposite of Joey Porter Jr., and I think that the Patrick Queen addition is really one of the most under-the-radar signings for the Steelers of free agency, which is crazy to say because he's one of the best inside linebackers. But when your headlines are dominated with these quarterback acquisitions, it's easy to forget about the other side of the ball. But I think that Patrick Queen's going to be really key in stopping the run, which is something you have to do if you're in the AFC North.
Let's talk about the running back room because, Brooke, there seems to be a vibe out there with, Arthur Smith now in the mix as the offensive coordinator that this offense has a chance to be pretty potent on the ground. Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, and do we need to talk about Cordero Patterson? Like, what are your thoughts on that running back room and what we could see from those guys this year?
It's funny, if you had asked me about Cordero Patterson a couple years ago, I would have said, oh, yeah, that's right, he is on the team because he's been on the non-football injury list with a hamstring issue that he sustained during some off-season training away from the facility. But we saw him get out there in practice today, and he lined up as a wide receiver and a running back. I think he's a really interesting, versatile option that they have to use in a lot of different ways. I think right now he kind of does slot in as that RB3 and complements what Jalen Warren and Najee Harris do. And they were, I think, one of the most productive running back tandems last year. Two guys with very different running styles. Najee Harris is the guy that, is going to get some yak and push through you as a power running back. And Jalen Warren has that power, but he's also really fast and really slippery. And I think that those three guys, but specifically the top two, are going to be the key to this offense. If they can run more and pick up more yards on the ground than they have the last couple years, this is going to be a really successful offense. But, a lot of that also goes back to how well this offensive line gels together early on.
Brooke, who would you look at as wide receiver 2 for the Steelers? I know that they drafted Roman Wilson, and I know that they picked up Van Jefferson, but who would you look at as wide receiver 2 for Pittsburgh?
I think it's got to be Van Jefferson. He has a really strong connection with with Fields and Wilson behind Pickens. He's made some really great plays in camp. He had those one official catch in the preseason game from Justin Fields, the other one that was ruled out of bounds. But he's just been really consistent. He also catches the ball at the jugs machine 300 times at the end of every practice. And I think he's just been really steady. He's looked better than I thought he would coming into this camp. And then Roman Wilson showed some flashes early, but he had a sprained ankle early in camp, and we haven't seen him out there for, I think, at least a week, and that's not something you want as a rookie. I think that really hurts your development at a crucial time during training camp.
If you're not following her as a Steeler fan, you are mistaken. She is Brooke Prior. Go follow her on Twitter at BE Prior. Brooke, thanks so much for taking some time out of your busy schedule to update us on everything Pittsburgh Steeler football. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. Brooke Prior was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Quick little nugget around the AFC. UNCB made me aware that, in the last couple of minutes, the Jets got a bit of an issue because Hassan Reddick, one of the best pass rushers in the league, has apparently requested a trade?
He just got there.
My goodness.
He just got traded there, and now he wants out. That's
crazy.
You think they're going to pay you and you ain't even hit the field yet?
It's crazy.
Not even halfway through the season? Man.
That's a messy situation, right? Because they knew before they traded for him that he wanted a deal.
That's true.
And now, that'll be interesting to follow there. So we'll definitely talk to Shefty about that here in a couple days. We'll hit the finish line of the show next. We'll tell the truth. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Chops has serial killer eyes, and Reeser can grow a full beard before lunch. What can your friends do? Bishop and Friends.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
Murphy Tractor and Equipment is your source for John Deere construction equipment rental. We rent high-quality equipment and attachments with add-on options in TopCon precision construction technology. Whether you need 1 week or 6 months, we rent a variety of equipment to help you get the job done. All our rental equipment is fully serviced, fueled, and ready to get to work. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment rental needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
It's time that we face the facts when it comes to organ, eye, and tissue donation. It exists to save and heal lives. It's a way to look out for one another, to continue a legacy and give the gift of a fuller future, the gift of life.
But what about the barriers around organ donation?
Cost, age, religion, race, or health status are not factors that can get in the way. All it really takes is one epic yes. Register today to become an organ, eye, and tissue donor at donatelifeohio.org.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let's talk about your sleep, specifically if you're not getting enough of it. If you're feeling groggy all day because you didn't sleep well, that is an awful feeling. I've been there. And if you're snoring when you sleep, well, that could be a big reason why you aren't feeling rested. This fact surprised even me the first time I heard it, and that is as you age, your risk of having obstructive sleep apnea nearly doubles. That's right. You need to find out if your snoring is related to sleep apnea, because if it is, there's actually help available for you right now. Dr. Mark Levy is board certified in the treatment of sleep apnea, and he offers a custom-fitted oral appliance that effectively treats sleep apnea. I have been telling you about this for years. And maybe you've been snoring for years. Now's the time to get this fixed. Plus, most Medicare patients have little to no out-of-pocket costs for this treatment. So you need to stop putting it off. Don't ignore your snore. Get your sleep apnea treated by calling Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. Get the life back you deserve. Call Dr. Mark Levy today, 1-800-MORE-SLEEP, or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
Ready for all those warm weather get-togethers? Fill up your grocery basket at Giant Eagle. Giant Eagle's Deals for Days program features more than 1,000 deals on your favorite items, so you can save more on what you like most. Barbecue parties, graduations, communions, they're all easier to plan when you buy at Giant Eagle. These low prices are available for a limited time at your Giant Eagle and Market District, so save today. Find more information on Deals for Days at gianteagle.com.
It's Toyota's National Sales Event, the perfect time to extend your summer fun in the all-new, all-hybrid Camry. Now through September 3rd, choose 5.25 APR financing on any new 2025 Camry. Or you can lease a Camry LE for $319 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, it's Anthony for the Good Feet store. 3 words for me, pain-free summer. Spent probably 30 hours walking around the Memorial Tournament and felt awesome with my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store in my everyday kicks. Sure, every now and then we all get random foot pain from pickleball or golf or just being a human being. Having my personally fit arch supports in my shoes has made a massive difference. And even right after I put them in, didn't take long to feel much more supported and aligned, and it's so easy to just move them into any pair. Before I had them, I dreaded being on my feet for any length of time. Well, you have nothing to lose but the pain, as they say. It's a free fitting and test walk. Try them for yourself. See the difference it can make. It did for me. And best of all, you can wear them home. 2 locations on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road, or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet store, America's arch supports experts.
Want to know anything about the Fan's contests, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, CB, take us home. What do you got cooked up today?
All right, so my first question for you is the first week of preseason that goes like this. Tell the truth. Name one player whose stock is trending down after the first week of preseason games.
I think because of the fumbles, Justin Fields.
Wow.
I just think not for me, but I think the perception of
No, because
here's why. Here, walk with me on this. I think going into that game, right, that was one of the most pressure-packed situations of any player this weekend because of the opportunity that was at hand for him. With Russ being hurt, you get to go in and show that I can be the guy. And then the fumbles and some of that stuff, it just wasn't clean. So I think maybe for some people, the perception of him coming out of that game, maybe his stock has just took a bit of a hit. Even though I'm not one of those people, we just heard from Brooke Prior, and she said that they still feel good about some of the things he did. But I think for the people that really didn't sit down and watch the game, Tyvis, they're going to see the headline of the fumbles and think that maybe he took a little bit of a hit.
I can see that. See that. For me, it's not that he played bad. I feel like I just didn't see enough. And that's Drake May. Like, I feel like Joe Milton would have more highlights than Drake May, and that's not great to say. So I think, to me, I feel like I see why they haven't come out and said who the starting quarterback is yet, because it's just not there. It's not. But then it's the Patriots, so it's like, they're not looking to do anything anyways. Right. But the Drake May thing, every other quarterback behind you had a game.
It looked all right.
Every last one of them.
That's true.
You can't handle the truth.
All right, in about 12 days, we will be sitting on the couch watching Georgia Tech and Florida State go at it from Ireland, where I'm sure the beers will be fully sold out by maybe the end of the first half there. But talking about week 0, it's not a great schedule outside of that game, but how much will you be locked into those games that first Saturday?
So here's the schedule for you, Tyvis, before you give your take. CB mentioned it. 10th ranked Florida State, they'll take on Georgia Tech. You get Montana State at New Mexico, SMU at Nevada, and then Delaware State at Hawaii. Your face tells it all.
So I'm going to glance at this Florida State game for about quarter. About 2 series. I give you one series on offense, one series on defense.
Yeah.
Cut it off, and I'm done. And you know what? And on top of that, this game comes on, I will be live on Fan Sports Saturday. So I actually might see it more than I think because it'll be on that TV
You might consume the whole game.
No, because it's 10-1.
Hey, there you go.
At 12.
Fair
so,
enough.
yeah.
I'll probably... Georgia Tech's not doing anything.
Nah, they not. Don't even try to gas it.
Our tribal chief, Roman Reigns, did play for Georgia Tech, though. But I'm not watching much of this game.
Just the fact that he does it.
CB, we're in the bloodline. You got to throw up the one. When we talk about Roman Reigns here on the show, I'll give it a half, CB. Give me a half. I want to see DJ Uyunglele and what that looks like. I'll watch him going in.
Will that change to a full game if Georgia Tech is close?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Then I'll definitely tap in.
Yes.
No question.
Did you say I know my truth?
I know my truth.
All right, today's fan poll question is this. Which NFL division will be the most difficult to win this season? Is it the AFC North, the AFC West, the NFC North, or other? And if you select other, I need to know which division you would pick.
This is absurd that this is even a question.
Really?
It's a no-brainer.
What is it?
It's the AFC North.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not mad at your take.
Because it literally, no matter what order somebody tells me that AFC North will come in, I will believe that that's possible. There's nothing is impossible in that thing. Nothing's guaranteed.
Could I hit you with that same type of vibe for the AFC South?
The AFC South. Or who's in that?
You're not going to buy.
Oh, that's the Jags.
You're not buying Tennessee.
Yeah, no.
That's going to be the one
they're
going to
finish. That's not true because Tennessee might.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's just we got to be in wait and see mode with Will Levis.
Yeah.
That's just the thing. I like what they did this offseason. The Raiders aren't going to make the West interesting. No. That's not happening.
The Arizona's not going to make theirs interesting.
Yeah. I get, man.
Yeah, come on home. NFC North, I hear. I can hear it.
What about the South?
The NFC South?
Walk with me here.
Every last one I'm going to finish under 500 again. So yeah, you're right. You got a point.
That's what I was just saying. The NFC South might get interesting, but I think you have the correct answer.
Is it tough because no team actually wants to win it?
Yeah, I know. And maybe Kirk Cousins will just hop into that thing and roll out and just ball at a high level. It'll be there.
Like that.
They would love
Exactly.
We would love that.
Bryce Young was the first overall pick. They brought in some weaponry around this offensive line. I'm trying too hard here.
They brought in what?
They brought in Deontay Johnson. They traded for him. They brought in Jonathan Brooks, the guy from Texas, and Sanders, the tight end from Texas. I'm not trying. Look, I'm with you.
You're trying too hard.
I'm throwing stuff at the wall.
Just go ahead and say AFC North, and we can move on.
It's hard for me to go against it. So I'm a roll with Tyvis. Give me the AFC North.
You ain't lying.
All right, the final question I have for you today is: Would you rather have feet that never stop growing or hands that never stop growing?
Oh my!
Feet that never stop growing. Well, you know what they say. I'm gonna go with hands that never stop growing.
Hands that never stop.
I'd play wide receiver, and you'd never. Yeah, just put it in the area.
And it's mine.
Yeah.
This is both of these are terrible. The feet thing, though, like the feet thing, the problem is you won't be able to drive at some point when your feet, like you're just, you know what I mean? Like the pedal and the brake situation, it's
going to be hard to get the steering wheel.
That is true.
You got the one finger. You're going to be one finger, and it's going to be the whole steering wheel.
I think I might have to be with you on this, but there's so many issues that you run into with both.
See, that's the thing. I can play the game.
I don't know if you can.
See, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
I might switch to feet.
Look like a hobbit, like one of the hobbits from Lord of the Rings walking around with big old feet.
Give me the ring.
Give me the hands, CB. I'll take the growing hands.
And the truth shall set you free.
Hey, if you missed anything from our show today, we talked Buckeye football with Brendan Gulick, Browns with Ben Axelrod, Steelers with Brooke Prior. Wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3 will be waiting there for you. And don't forget, subscribe to the podcast as well. Coming up on Common Man and T-Bone, Timmy Hall's in the house. Jason Stark's going to hop on, and Common Man has let me know that he has some great news for you that will be the best news of your entire week. Tyvis, we always appreciate you. You're going to keep the hat off for the rest of the week, huh?
Until Friday.
Well, it was good seeing you as always. Thanks for your time. CB, great job on the board. Folks, thanks so much for listening to us and giving us some of your time. We will be back tomorrow at high noon. It's been Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Wake up with The Fan. Eat lunch with The Fan. Go to bed with The Fan. Dream about The Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan. This is a Fan Action Update.
Your Big Ten Action Update. The Michigan Wolverines have the 4th best odds to win the Big Ten this year at 7-1. Michigan has the 11th best odds to win the national championship at 25-1. The Wolverines' season win total is at 8.5 games, with Michigan's non-conference schedule including Fresno State, Texas, and Arkansas State, and Michigan is plus 118 to make the 12-team college football playoff. For your Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Pain from arthritis is just awful. Constant pain. It robs you of so much of the stuff you love to do. But there are effective ways to deal with that pain. My dad and I can both tell you we were able to get relief without medication or surgery. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief. The place to go, QC Kinetics, right here in Columbus, Ohio. Dr. Ray Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics utilize cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Learn how QC Kinetics can use advanced regenerative medicine to treat the pain, enhance your joints, and restore your mobility. Surgery and pain pills, they're not the only option. My dad and I went there. We feel so much better. He's able to move around and walk like he wants to. I'm able to go out and run and do the things that I enjoy. So here's the great thing. Give them a call at 380-208-4544. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus. They have 3 offices in Dublin, Gahanna, and Grove City.
At Baths R Us, we're terrible roofers. We stink at installing siding. And don't ever call us for your kitchen remodel. But if you want a stunning, beautiful bathroom makeover in just 2 or 3 days, now that's when you want to call us. See, unlike most contractors these days, we offer only one service, bathroom remodeling. We don't spread ourselves thin by doing roofing or siding and a bunch of other stuff. Nope. At Baths R Us, we dedicate every company resource into mastering the craft of bath transformation transformations. It's why we're the Midwest's biggest 5-star family-owned bathroom company. And it's why we have the happiest customers. Just check out our Google reviews. Baths Are Us. We're terrible roofers, but we're awesome bathroom remodelers. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. Baths Are Us, where dreams soak in.
It's the summer sell-down at Performance Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Get 0% for 36 months on select Wranglers, Gladiators, and Grand Cherokees with no payments for 90 days. One Performance, 2 locations, Georgesville and Delaware.
With approved credit from Stellantis Financial Services on select 24 in-stock inventory. Cannot combine offers. Ends 8/30/24.
Free estimates on air conditioning with Logan Services. Get 0% APR financing for 72 months on a qualifying train system. It's hard to stop a train. Book online now. Fast, friendly service, Logan Services.
Experience a piece of history this September and pay tribute to those that have served in the Vietnam War. Delaware County Veterans Services invites you to visit the Wall That Heals from September 12th through the 15th at Havener Park in Liberty Township. Witness the official 3/4 scale replica of the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. The Wall That Heals is free and open to the public 24 hours a day until 2 p.m. on the 15th. For volunteering opportunities and to learn more, please visit thewallthathealsohio.com.